It's the first weekend in autumn and the first home game in autumn in nearly 2 years as Carthage College football returns to Art Keller Field in Kenosha. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome in to Carthage Firebird football here on 1050 WLIP, and a hello to everybody on the video stream catching our game here as well. Glad you could be along here for this one. The second game of the conference season here for both teams today, Carthage and Illinois Wesleyan. Carthage getting back into the win column last Saturday with a 34-17 victory over the Elmhurst Blue Jays. And in that ball game, kind of maybe had the quarterback situation shelved a little bit. Bryce Lowe going 10 of 16 for 215 yards and a couple of touchdowns in that ball game. And also Eddie L. catching a couple of touchdown passes as well. Targeted 5 times, 4 receptions, and 63 yards. Also on the ground, Noel Wright stepping up in the running back spot. 21 carries, 138 yards, and 1 touchdown, taking over for the injured Jacob Boucher. Boucher lost for the season last week due to a knee injury. So Noel Wright II will get the opportunity here today to carry the mail for the Carthage Firebirds. Meanwhile, Illinois Wesleyan coming in at 0-2. They dropped their non-conference game to Franklin 35-21 and lost their CCIW opener last week at Carroll 34-33. The Titans missing a couple of extra points and then had the opportunity to win the game on the final play, but a 30-yard field goal went wide right and Carroll pulled the win in Waukesha. So Illinois Wesleyan coming in with a record of 0-2, but they do have a lot of talent on this Wesleyan team, and it starts up front. Their entire offensive line, 57 starts in 25 games. It's senior dominated, led by Jake Bowie, their center. He is a preseason D3 football All-America candidate. And then you had in there the running of Hamid Bully averaging almost 7 yards per carry, and he has already accumulated 327 yards in 2 ball games, so have to watch out for that. Meanwhile, Carthage coming in defensively. They have allowed 31 points per game in the first 2 ball games, and they are going to be a little bit shorthanded here today. Jalen Slater, their starting defensive end, out with a shoulder injury. Oliver Cox will get a start today, the sophomore for the Firebirds. Also out of action today will be Bobby Baker. He is sidelined by injury, so Ethan Foster will make his collegiate debut as a starter today for the Firebirds in the Carthage secondary. Well, we had a chance to visit with head coach Dustin Haas before our ball game here today and talked about the fact that it's nothing like it's ever been here for the last 2 years, the fact that Carthage has returned home to Keller Field.
We're excited to finally be home, playing in some friendly confines here. It's unfortunate it took all the way till the end of September to get it done, but we're excited to be in front of our own fans here.
Well, you go 1-1 on the road, and you pick up your first win last week against the Blue Jays, and I thought we learned a lot about your team. Obviously, the resilience of coming back from a season opening loss, but also faced with some adversity in that second half. They challenged you a little bit in that second half, but you were able to step up and answer every challenge.
Yeah, they did. That was one thing we talked about in the post game. There were a couple things you can point to. Obviously, our offense responding every time they scored. We had that one big holding penalty, and then we complete a 63-yard pass to Jordan Wiles. In spite of it, get the first down, end up going down and scoring. So I think you're right. I think we found out that they're a resilient bunch, that there's a bunch of fighters in there, which is obviously good to see.
Bryce Lowe really stepped up coming off the bench, 10 of 16 for 215 yards and a couple of touchdown passes after watching much of the first half. And what was your takeaway on the quarterback play on Saturday?
Thought he did really well. We talked to all those guys in the quarterback room that they all have to prepare like they're the starter, and I think he did that last week and was able to take advantage of that opportunity.
He steps up again today.
He will. He'll be the guy that gets the go today, and hopefully he can continue that hot start or that hot play from last week and play all game that way.
I think it also helped you got your running game going. I think that was huge. The offensive line responding to the challenge of the last 2 weeks to play a little bit more physical and open up some holes for your running backs.
That always takes a ton of pressure off the QB. Anytime you're getting big chunk yardage in the run game and moving the ball that way, it brings those safeties down, puts them in the box, and definitely opens things up for the pass game.
And Noel Wright stepped up. It's unfortunate Jacob Boucher out with the knee injury, but Noel Wright prepared as if he was the starter. He stepped right in, rushed for over 100 yards, and got a touchdown.
He did. Just like you said, another kid that prepared like he was the starter and took advantage of the opportunity he got. It's a big blow losing Jake. Great kid, captain for us. Good football player. He'll be hard to replace, but hopefully Noel can have the kind of game today he had last week.
On the defensive side, the guy that stood out for me is the play of Jalen Dennis. I mean, here's another guy that been here 4 years, and he's played, 5 different positions since he's been here? That talks about the athletic ability of one Jalen Dennis.
Yeah, he's a Swiss Army knife. He came in, played a little quarterback for us, played a little wide out. He's played safety, and now he's playing nickel for us. And really it speaks to his football IQ. A guy that understands the game and has the ability athletically to jump around, but also the knowledge to learn a couple different positions. And he played really well, especially in the second half. Made a couple big plays for us, especially on that 4th down stop, getting the TFL there. That was huge.
And on special teams, I thought David Collins got things going again. I mean, he averaged better than 42 yards a punt, had 2 50-yard punts, was able to flip the field for you and help you out in setting the stage for a defensive stand.
He hit it much better, that's for sure. His kickoffs were great, put a bunch through the end zone. He punted the ball a lot better. It was a good bounce-back game for him. Obviously tried that long field goal there with him that he had plenty enough distance, just pulled it a little bit to the left. But he did have a great game for us.
Your opponent today, Illinois Wesleyan, it's rare that they come to Kenosha 0-2 and 0-1 in conference play, but that's the cards they've been dealt, and they have a very experienced offensive line. I saw something this week out of the combined starts, 57 combined starts with that senior offensive line, so you're getting a very robust front that you're going to have to play against today.
Yeah, they're very good on offense. I think that they're 0-2, but I think they're still averaging over 30 points a game. Have scored a lot. They're a little bit younger on defense, and that's kind of been their Achilles heel so far. But they're good up front on offense. They've got really good skill players. A couple good wide receivers. That running back is really good for them, and that quarterback's played well for being a young kid.
I was going to say, they get off to a quick start, so I would think one of the keys today is to be ready and match the intensity right from the get-go.
Yeah, 100%. That's what we've talked about all week. It's been kind of the theme since that Whitewater game is we got to come out a little bit better and start a little bit better. We were better last week, still not where we want to be, but that's definitely something we need to do today.
Yeah, this team, Titans come in, they've scored 33 points in the first quarter. They've outscored their opponents almost 2-1 in the first quarter, so Norm has them ready to go right from the opening kickoff.
No, he will, and he's not happy with being 0-2, so they'll come up prepared and ready to go right from the jump.
Your keys for the game here today, what you got?
Our big thing offensively, we have to continue to run the ball to open up that pass game. The front 5 need to do a great job of getting movement, getting push. And then on defense, we're going to have to stop the pass. That's one thing that they've shown they're really, really good at. They throw the ball well. They've got a couple big play wide receivers. And so it's going to be a good challenge for our secondary. Our secondary plays well. We'll have a good day.
Good luck and go get them.
Thanks.
Head coach Dustin Haas joining us in our pregame as Carthage College gets set to open up the home schedule this afternoon as they get set to take on the Illinois Wesleyan Titans. I'll be back with starting lineups and the kickoff of today's game right after this on AM 1050 WLIP.
Record of 0-2, 0-1 in CCIW play. The Firebirds enter at 1-1, 1-0 in the CCIW. Fans, a reminder, in accordance with national, state, and campus safety guidelines, please wear face coverings or masks at all times while indoor on campus today. Masks or face coverings are not required while outdoors. Thank you for joining us on campus for today's Carthage game and for following the athletics and attendance policy. At this time, we would like to give special recognition to Carthage Athletics corporate sponsors for supporting our student athletes. Greater South, the official physical therapy provider of Carthage Athletics. Barnes & Noble, comprehensive orthopedics, double tree in and suites, American Inn, Mobile One, Hampton Inn, Johnson Financial Group, La Bogata Mexican Grill, the Stella Hotel and Ballroom, Support Energy, Jersey Mike's Subs, the Waterloo Warehouse, and Coleman Auto.
Well, just a wonderful atmosphere here at Art Keller Field. Great to have the fans back. We've got jump houses for the kids over in the green space area just to the west of the stadium, and we've got a food trucks here today as well. And just a great afternoon expected here at Art Keller Field in Kenosha. Weather's going to hold out as well. Nice temperatures in the 60s. If you're out and about today, still looking for something to do, still plenty of room for you to come on out and take in exciting college football today in Kenosha. Let's set the Carthage starting offense this afternoon. We'll start with their offensive line, and it will be Drew Neville getting the start at left tackle. Neville 6'3", 265, the senior out of Rolling Meadows. Omar Roberts at left guard, 6'2", 290, and a senior. Adam Gilmeister at center, 6', 270, a junior from Stevens Point. Alex Diaz, 6'3", 280-pound senior out of Darien, Illinois. Jason Aguilera will start at right tackle, and he is a freshman out of Pico Rivera, California. Bryce Lowe getting the start at quarterback today, making his first collegiate start. And on the wide receivers, he will have Jared Ruth, Alex Jarvis, and Gibson Groves starting out there. Again, Culver Selly out with an injury, not going to be available today on offense. Defense, or I should say running back also for Carthage today will be Noel Wright, and we've got that. Now the defense for you will be Jalen Gales at one defensive end, along with Oliver Cox today making his first collegiate start, the sophomore out of Oswego. Jalen Slater out by injury. Then you have Hayden Fisher and Dylan Ramirez on the interior line. Anthony Martin will get the start at linebacker today along with Zach Hale. Jalen Dennis, the nickelback, leads the team in tackles with 14 coming into the contest here today. Jake Tomczak at one defensive back. You have Garrett Warner out there. Ethan Foster will make a start today as well. Foster making his first collegiate start in front of Bobby Baker out with an injury. And then you have Keith Freeman at the other corner for Carthage here today. Illinois Wesleyan offensively today, Jake Tenza will start at left tackle. Jacob Finfer at left guard. Preseason All-American Jake Bowie at center. Nick Size at right guard, and A.J. Lust over at right tackle. The quarterback will be Sage Sindler today, and Hamid Bully will be the running back. Seth Elbin also in there, along with Charlie Hamilton and Zach Tenza at tight end, and Wes Watson at wide receiver. Right now we're going to enjoy our national anthem this afternoon from Art Keller Field, performed by the Carthage Pep Band. Levichek will start at defensive end along with Connor Murphy, Thomas Mohall, and Nick DeGregorio. The linebackers will be Daniel Gibbons, Fernando Chavez, and Kosei Kusanaki. And Tyler Maple, their starting cornerback, out today with a hand injury, so Jimmy Capici will get the start, number 6. Jack Dawson, the free safety, James Porter, the strong safety, and Artist Benjamin at the other corner for the Titans. Captains are meeting at the center of the field, getting set for our coin flip this afternoon. Ben Lagaki is our official today. And the coin flip. Carthage has won the toss.
Carthage has won the toss and deferred their choice to the second half. Wesleyan will receive. Good luck.
So Carthage will start on defense here today and defend the north goal, while the Titans will defend the south goal, going from left to right here this afternoon. An outstanding afternoon for college football today. Here in Kenosha, a temperature of 64 degrees here at Carthage College. Some filtered sunshine. And the wind out of the northwest, about 15 miles per hour. So a gorgeous afternoon for football. Carthage in the home red jerseys with the white numerals, white pants, red stripe. Red helmets with the Firebird logo on it. Illinois Wesleyan green helmets, white jerseys, green numerals, green pants. Collins has it teed up. Seth Albin is part of the deep tandem. Getting some instructions from the line judge, I should say. All 10 teams in action today. Wheaton at North Park. Augustana is at North Central. Washington University at Elmhurst. And Carroll takes the drive down 39 to take on Milliken. The run-up by Collins. And the kick. It's a low line drive. Albin will pick up inside the 5. Cuts back to his left. Now up the middle. Gets it to the 25 and down at the 26-yard line. Getting in there on special teams for the Firebirds, and that was Chris DeVito on special teams, making the stop just across the 25-yard line. So Illinois Wesleyan offense getting set to go. Sage Schindler, their quarterback, completed 62% of his passes. He has thrown for over 500 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 1 interception. He will have Hamid Bully as his lead back. He will line up in the pistol formation. And the give is to Bully around the left side. Cuts it to the 25, gets it to the 27 before he is stacked up there defensively by the Firebirds. First person in there for Carthage. That was one of the linebackers getting in there for the Firebirds, and Zach Hale. 1 yard pickup, second down and 9 just across the 27-yard line. Again, it's Gales, Fisher, Ramirez, and Cox out there, Oliver Cox. Martin, Hale, and Dennis, linebackers, as they dump it outside. Catch is made across the 30 by Hamid Bully, and he's ushered out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They will mark him out at the 33, short of the first down. A little swing pass, and again, Carthage needs to be ready defensively at the line of scrimmage. So Bully has touched the ball twice here. And it sets up a 3rd and short. 44% conversion on 3rd down so far this season offensively. They'll give it to Bully. Bully, nowhere to go, and he's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Nowhere to run that time as he's stuffing the run. DeVito, Chris DeVito, playing the nickelback here. Stepped in and made the play for a loss back to the 27-yard line. So Carthage, 3 and out, will get the ball back here and get their first offensive possession. Punting away. Be a short kick. Takes a Wesleyan bounce inside the 30 and will roll dead at the Carthage 25-yard line. And that's where the offense will go to work here this afternoon for Dustin Haas and the Carthage Firebirds. Bryce Lowe making his first collegiate start out of Tampa, Florida. 13 of 20. 226 yards, 2 touchdowns. He will work from pistol right in the tailback slot off his right hip. First snap from center. It goes to right, coming around the left side, and he is chopped down behind the line of scrimmage. Good penetration that time right off the get-go by Connor Nigro. The strong safety stepping up and making a play here for a loss of 2 back to the 23-yard line. Up front for the Firebirds, it's Neville, Roberts, Gilmeister, Diaz, and Aguilar. Tight end is Williamson. Right, the tailback. This time they'll go with 4 receivers out there on second down. They'll come back near side. Catch is made. Silvier coming through the near side and out to the 50-yard line. Made the catch at the 35, ran it down the numerals near side to midfield. It's a pickup of 27 and a first down for the Carthage Firebirds. So a nice play off the get-go here as they pick it up on second down and get it out to Sylvier Campbell. Again, Lowe wants to throw, steps into the pocket, dumps it off short, and the catch is made by Wright at about the 45 of the Titans. That'll be a gain of 5. It'll bring up a 2nd and 5 for the Firebirds. Good job so far for Carthage getting into a good rhythm here early for Bryce Lowe. I think that's going to be key here today for Carthage. Again, they move the tight end in motion here. They'll swing it out near side. Sylvier Campbell again with the catch, and he spins down to the 40-yard line. Forward progress close to a first down. And it is enough for a Firebird first down. Getting there on the stop was Josh Lovacek, one of the linemen for the Titans. So they got Lowe into an early rhythm here. Jarvis lined up in a slot right. 2 tight end look here for Carthage. The tight end Marquette lined up here on the near side, and they'll give it to Wright coming back near side inside the 40, and is stacked up at the 38 and driven back there. Host of Titan players there. Fernando Chavez, one of them, the inside linebacker, able to make the stop. Gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8. Just underway, first possession here for the Carthage Firebirds. They got a 3 and out, stopping the Titans, and now have gotten to the Titan 38-yard line. 2nd and 8. Marquette, the tight end, in motion, now realigns to the left side of the formation. They fake to right. Lowe wants to throw, steps up into the pocket under pressure, gets it away, and it's thrown short, incomplete. He had Jarvis coming in on a post route, but he could not step into that throw as the pocket began to collapse around him. And it comes up incomplete, sets up a 3rd and long. Lowe just would have had a little bit more room with his feet that time, could have stepped into that throw, but had to throw it off his back foot. So 3rd down and 8 for the Firebirds. Carthage 40% on 3rd down conversions offensively. 3 receivers to the right. Sylvier Campbell, the single receiver to the near side. They'll give it to Noel Wright, and Wright is buried at the 36-yard line. Well read that time by the middle linebacker, Fernando Chavez. So Carthage facing 4th down. Looks like they're going to roll the dice here. Dustin Haas did this in the second half of that ball game last week against Elmhurst and did not convert, but was able to get the ball back. So a key play here, 4th and 6 from the Titan 36-yard line. Bryce Lowe in pistol. Looks right, throwing deep, has a man out there, it's Jarvis, and makes the catch at the 10-yard line, falling backwards with a man draped on him. Penalty marker down as well. Alex Jarvis with the catch down to the 10-yard line. It's a 26-yard pickup, but we'll check out the penalty marker. It was thrown right there as Jarvis and the ball and the defender were both getting there at the same time.
Pass interference, defense number 12. Penalty is declined. Result of the play is a first down.
Rode Say, the defensive back, the guilty party, he was guarding Jarvis. He was lined up on the outside of the far numerals and just flew right down the field, and Lowe hit him in stride at the 12-yard line. That's where they will mark it. 1st and 10 from the 12. Low. Play action. Now under pressure. On the run. Throws, and it's knocked away from Jarvis. Incomplete. Good play defensively out there. Metzger. So it'll bring up a 2nd and 10 from the 12-yard line. Metzger able to get a step that time in front of Jarvis and knock it away, and made a good play on the football. 9:45 to go, first quarter, no score. Carthage penetrating into the red zone. The give is to Noel Wright up the middle, spins out of a tackle, bounces it right inside the 10, and gets it down to about the 8-yard line where he is tacked up there. Finally getting him to the turf was Artist Benjamin, the defensive back. Down to the 8-yard line. It'll bring up a 3rd and about, we'll call it 6 here for the Firebirds. Low working from pistol, has Wright in the backfield. L and Sylvia Campbell lined up here to the near side. They'll look right side. They'll throw it out, complete to Markek. The tight end makes the catch at the 5, fights his way down, close to the first down marker, inside the 5, near the 3. Skylar Metzger wrestled him to the turf after he made the catch, and he got the first down. It'll be 1st and goal, Firebirds.
1st and goal, Firebirds from the 2.
They'll mark it at the 2. Campbell remains in the game. He'll line up as a wide out right. Eddie L. wide out to the left. 2 tight ends in there for Carthage, Williamson and Markek. Wright gets the carry. Wright down inside the 2, close to the 1-yard line.
Wright on the carry.
Connor Murphy off the bottom of that pile for the Titans.
It's 2nd down.
No gain, 2nd down and goal from just across the 2-yard line. Again, Sylvia Campbell lined up to the right side. Eddie L. to the left side. Williamson, the tight end, right. Markek lined up in a wing to the left side. This time it's Boston in there as the running back. Boston gets the carry. Boston to the goal line. Touchdown, Firebirds! Getting into the end zone for the Firebirds, Travis Boston Jr., his first collegiate touchdown. Jr., a Detroit, Michigan native, punches it in from 2 yards out. Carthage has the early 6-0 lead. David Collins to attempt the extra point. Tanner Ludwig on the hold. The ball is in the air, and it is good. 13 plays, 75 yards for Carthage. The 2-yard touchdown run by Boston, his first as a Carthage Firebird, and Carthage jumps out in front of Illinois Wesleyan 7-0. Hey, I want to remind our listeners to join us this Monday night down at Mason's Eatery and Pub on 75th Street, Highway 50, just west of Highway 31. It's the Carthage College Firebirds Athletics Show. It'll be the Carthage Athletic Insider presented by Mobile One Communication. That'll be from 7 to 9 this Monday night at Mason's Eatery and Pub. Big thank you to Mason's along with Mobile One Communication for helping us out with that. Our once-a-month feature here on 1050 WLIP, and that will be this Monday night from 7 until 9. We hope to see you out there in person. There'll be some Carthage swag to give away and a chance to meet some of the Carthage coaches. We'll interview Leanne Ulmer, women's volleyball coach, Ian Wilson, the women's soccer coach, Dustin Haas will be there as well, along with some athletes. So it'll be this Monday night at Mason's Eatery and Pub, 7 to 9 at Mason's, just off of Highway 50, west of 31. Seth Elbin will take it inside the 5, cuts back to his left, up the middle, across the 20, out to the 25, and dumped down near the 27-yard line. DeVito getting down there again on special teams for Carthage to stop. On that drive, Bryce Lowe 5 for 7 for 69 yards along a 27. Noel Wright, 5 carries on that drive, and Severe Campbell with 2 receptions, and it was Boston going over from the 2-yard line for the touchdown. Roll the tight end. Tenza to the left side. They come back, throw near side. Catch is made by Hamilton across the 35 and out of bounds at the 37-yard line. Keith Freeman was there to get him to the boundary. And Carthage shorthanded back there in that secondary today without Bobby Baker. Ethan Foster getting a start at the other corner. They get their initial first down of the ball game out at the 37-yard line. It's a pickup of 10. Schindler now 2 for 2 for 16 yards. He has Hamid Bully lined up to his right in the backfield, working from pistol, drags a receiver in motion near side. It's a jet sweep coming around the near side. Carthage read it well. Stepping in and making a nice play was Garrett Warner. Boy, he has come on. Warner, 13 tackles in the first 2 ball games, 8 tackles against the Blue Jays. A great open field tackle that time as the Titans went with the sweep, the jet sweep to Wesley Watson from left to right, and Warner read it well, came in and chopped him down for just a 2-yard gain. Second down and 8, just shy of the 40-yard line. Again, they'll roll both tight ends over to the near side. Fake to Bully. Schindler scrambling to his left, dumps it out left side, and the catch is made there, but a short gain out to about the 42-yard line, short of the first down. Well read out there. Watson, or I should say Hamilton, making the catch. Good job defensively. Jalen Dennis out there to make that stop. The nickelback leads the team in tackles. He had 10 last week against the Blue Jays. 6:15 to play, first quarter. Carthage up 7-0 here at Keller Field in Kenosha. Critical third down here. 3rd and 4 from their own 43. They'll spread them out. 2 receivers here to the near side. They get the tight end. Tenza lined up here near side. Schindler throwing left. It's out there and a penalty marker down. Keith Freeman tripped up the intended receiver that time. They were looking for Charlie Hamilton along that far sideline just across midfield, and they got tangled up, and Freeman hauled him down.
Pass interference. Defense number 2. Ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
They will spot it right at midfield. No doubter that time. Freeman just a little too aggressive. Went with the right hand trying to get in there rather than trying to use the left hand and keep his body off of the receiver, Charlie Hamilton. So a fresh set of downs for Illinois Wesleyan from midfield. Carthage with a 4-man front. Bully gets the carry. Tries to pick his way over the middle, and he is stopped there. Wrapped up just across the line of scrimmage for a 2-yard gain. Once again, Oliver Cox in there in place of Jalen Slater. That's his second tackle today for Cox, the sophomore from Oswego. Officially called a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7 from the Carthage 47-yard line. Foster will line up to the right side. He will be covering Hamilton on this set with Hamilton. He'll press coverage now on Hamilton at the line of scrimmage. Play fake to Hamid Bully. Schindler with time, throwing left, looking that way, and it is caught. Penalty marker down. Coming away with it on the interception, however, is Ethan Foster. But let's check out the penalty flag. This might be offensive interference. It looked like Hamilton had hooked the defender. We shall see.
Pass interference. Defense number 39. It's a 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
It looked like Hamilton got a hand around the waist of Ethan Foster just before the ball got in there. I don't know if we'll get a chance to see a replay or not, but that's what it looked like. He got his right hand in there and looked like he pulled around the belt buckle that time. So 2 pass interference calls have set up Illinois Wesleyan their deepest penetration here. Just over 5 minutes to go in the first quarter, trailing 7-0. Schindler now 3 for 4 in the passing department today. 2 of those receptions by Hamilton. Hamilton lined up as a single receiver left side again, working on Foster. Fake to Bully. They'll come back on a bubble screen to Hamilton. Makes the catch inside the 30. Takes it down to the 24-yard line. Little bubble screen that time to the left side. On the play fake to Hamid Bully, Schindler then was able to step out to his left. And we've got some players down here for the Firebirds. And we don't need to see any more injuries defensively, and one of them is Cox. Oliver Cox slow to get up. He's going to have to come out. Boy, they are thin up front. So Cameron Penny will come in now. Man, that other defensive slot here. Gain of 8, second down 2 on that bubble screen. Hamid Bully lines up left side of the quarterback. He'll get the call. Tries to pick his way around the left side. Carthage was ready, and they stop him for no gain. Good job penetrating that time for the Firebirds. Zach Hale blew up that play, really cut him back to the inside. He was outside the far hash mark and forced him back into the interior part of the line, and that's where Carthage was able to stack him up for no gain. 3rd down and 2. Clock rolling, 4 minutes to go, first quarter. Carthage up 7-0 on a 2-yard touchdown run by Boston. Travis Boston Jr., his first collegiate touchdown. Schindler will hand it off. Bully. And Bully will move the pile inside the 21-yard line down to about the 20. He'll have the first down. Just got into that pile and took everybody with him. That's just good old-fashioned CCIW football that time. A battle in the trenches, won that time by the offensive line of the Titans. And they continue this drive. Again, 2 penalties on this drive. A couple of pass interference calls against Carthage. And they've made the red zone here. Gerberding and Watson lined up as receivers to the left side with Hamilton here to the near side. Play fake. Schindler trying to step up in the pocket, goes back over the middle, through the hands and incomplete. Had the receiver out there, Peyton Gerberding. Got in front that time, actually had inside position on Jake Tomzak, but Tomzak, the last minute, got a hand up, knocked it away. 2nd down and 10 from the Carthage 20. Clock stopped, 3:16 to play in this first quarter. Trips here to the near side with Hamilton and Gerberding, the double slot here, along with Wes Watson. They'll toss it to Bully, and he's dropped down. Jalen Dennis had it read perfectly, charged up the field and made the tackle for a loss. They will spot it back at the 27-yard line. It's a loss of 7. Jalen Dennis, the nickelback, again with a great play. The jack of all trades at Carthage College, a quarterback, a receiver, a kick returner, linebacker, secondary player, now playing nickel, and he has just made the most of it. That takes him into a 3rd and 17 at the Carthage 27-yard line. Now let's not let him off the hook here. Schindler from the pistol. Elbin will stay in. They try and set up a screen, and it's through the hands and incomplete, intended for Hamid Bully. They were going to try the screen play. I'm not sure they would have gotten the first down, but some additional yardage. Now some interesting decisions here. You had a field goal kicker last week, missed the game-winning field goal, and missed 2 extra points. So what does Normesh do here? He's going to keep the offense out there. Play clock down to 12 here as Schindler hustles into the huddle here. They will go for it here on 4th down. They are 1 for 4 this season on 4th down conversions, and Normesh will take a timeout.
Wesleyan.
Timeout, Wesleyan. 2:27 to go here in this first quarter. Today's Carthage Firebird football game brought to you by Triangle Flooring, Furniture and Appliance Center, 5 miles east of I-94 at Highway 50, at the corner of 50 and 39th Avenue, Kenosha's oldest family-owned home furnishing store. Since 1945, the premier place to shop for carpet, appliances, window treatments, and furniture. They service what they sell as well. They're open today until 5. That's 3813 Roosevelt Road. That's Highway 50 in Kenosha. Call them 262-694-6500. Well, it's 4th down. What does Normesh do here? Again, you had a place kicker who has had trouble connecting. It would be a 45-yard attempt. He's going to keep the offense out there following the timeout. Try and draw something up here. He'll have Bully in the backfield. Charlie Hamilton lined up here to the near side. Watson and Gerberding to the far side. Schindler takes the snap. Has time over the middle. In and out of his hands. Looking for the tight end, Zach Tenza. He was open inside the 5. It was broken up by Jake Tomzak, the junior defensive back. And Carthage stops the Titans on 4th down. And again, I can't fault Normesh for that call. It's a good call going to the tight end over the middle, but just a better play by Tomzak to knock it away, and that's telling me no confidence in his place kicking. Would have been a 45-yard attempt with the wind at his back. Instead, they come up empty. Carthage takes over at their own 27. Lowe will hand it off right, trying to turn the corner right side. Line of scrimmage and more. Bounces it outside to the 35 and rides himself out of bounds across the 40. Nice carry by Noel Wright. They will mark him out at the 42. It's a gain of 15 and a first down for Carthage. Boy, Noel Wright. 20 yards rushing here on 6 carries now for the Firebirds. He has come on. Again, Jacob Boucher lost for the season with a season-ending knee injury last week against Elmhurst. Lowe quickly gets it out, completes to Eddie L. III. He'll make the catch and dance across the 45 to the 47-yard line where he is dropped there. Maddox Swanstrom there to make the stop for the Titans, but it'll be a gain of 5, 2nd and 5 coming up. Quite a week last week for Eddie L. A pair of touchdown passes, was our Harbor Park Health and Fitness player of the game last week against the Blue Jays. 2nd down and 4 from the 48. Williamson in motion, the tight end, now lines up as a wing right side. They'll give to Wright, up the middle. 1st down and more. Breaks a tackle to 45, spins inside the 45 down to the 43-yard line. Carthage getting some traction in their ground game. Swanstrom again there to make the tackle, but it's enough for a Firebird 1st down. So Carthage in rhythm right from the get-go here this afternoon. We have a minute to go here in this first quarter, leading 7-0, but now into Titan territory at their 42. Jarvis lined up in a slot near side with Eddie L. Lowe looking to throw all the way left side and airmails it incomplete. Looking for Eddie L. Was well covered on the play.
Lowe's pass intended for L. Ball's incomplete. Brings up 2nd.
Brody Say was there. He was the defensive back on L. Would have been a short gain had they connected. Second down and 10. They'll give to Wright. It's blown up in the backfield and a loss back to the 45-yard line.
Right on the carry. Brought down behind the line of
Skylar Metzger, the middle linebacker, blew that play up. Metzger, their leading tackler, coming into the game with 16 on the year. That's another tackle for loss. He now has 2.5 tackle for loss this season. Carthage will have to snap it here as the play clock and game clock are synced up here. Final 20, make it 16 seconds here. They'll go with 3 receivers to the near side on 3rd and long. Look out for the blitz, and down goes Lowe. Back at the 47-yard line, unabated to the quarterback that time, was Connor Murphy, the lineman. They did a little stunt, little twist move up front, and Murphy gets the sack. That's now 1.5 sacks for Murphy as the first quarter comes to an end. Carthage will be punting when we return. 7-0 Firebirds over Illinois Wesleyan. Your home for Carthage football, AM 1050 WLIP.
Carthage 7, Illinois Wesleyan nothing.
Yeah. Okay, let's cut it back. How's that? I've turned it back just a little bit. How's that? Okay. Yep, thank you. The sack by Lowe to end that first quarter. It's going to be a fake. Collins is going to throw it over the middle. It's complete. Down the near side, up the middle now, cutting to the left and into the 20-yard line on the fake. Carthage goes with the fake. It is Zach Hale who made the reception. Takes it down to the 20-yard line. First and 10 Firebirds. Beautifully done on the fake punt. Dustin Haas rolling the dice on fourth down near midfield. Went for the fake, and Zach Hale was wide open. First and 10 Carthage at the 20. 33-yard pickup on fourth down. How about them apples? Marquette, the tight end, in motion. He will line up as a wing right side. They'll hand it off to Wright. Wright stopped at the line of scrimmage. Tripped up immediately as he tried to make a cut that time. Nicholas Di Gregorio made the tackle right at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
No gain on the play. It's 2nd and 10.
So 2nd and 10 upcoming here for the Firebirds. New tight end in there now, Jordan Wiles out there for Carthage. They'll go 2 by 2, 4 receivers here on 2nd and 10 from the 20. Lowe drops back, steps up, delivers over the middle. Eddie L, catch, touchdown, Carthage. Eddie L, the third, his third touchdown reception in 2 ball games. And the fake punt translates into 6 points for the Firebirds.
With 13:51 left in the first half, Carthage 13, Illinois Wesleyan nothing.
Nicely done on the pitch by Lowe, hitting Eddie L in stride, running a post route from the left side of the formation. Collins on the high snap, they get it down. Collins' kick is up, and it is good. Line drive, good job out there, get that ball down on the hole. By Nick Talley. But the fake punt over the middle to Zach Hale set this drive up on fourth down, a 33-yard pickup to the Titan 20-yard line. And then 2 plays later on 2nd down and 10. To Eddie L, his third touchdown reception in 2 ball games. And Carthage up 14-0 on Illinois Wesleyan. Lowe 7 for 10 for 95 yards. L 2 receptions, 26 yards, and a touchdown today.
Collins to kick for Carthage.
Seth Albin standing deep,
Albin and Wilson back deep for the Titans.
along with Wilson. So they pull off the fake punt. Seen that in a while. That crowd's still buzzing about that. Wilson will take at the 2 here near side, across the 10, 15, and buried as he got short of the 20-yard line. Evan Mutterer able to get down on special teams for the Firebirds to make the play. So the Titans will take over at their own 16-yard line. 13:45 to go here in this first half. Coming up at halftime, we'll have an extended interview with head athletic trainer Jake Denauer. We'll be both on the video stream and on WLIP at halftime. Jake Denauer, the head athletic trainer, what a year it's been for him and his staff. We're going to get his perspective on that coming up at halftime. From the 16, 1st and 10, Ahmed Booley coming near the near side, and he'll be knifed out of bounds that time by Keith Freeman. We'll mark him out at the 18-yard line. It'll be a gain of 2 for Hamid Bully. Carthage has done a great job so far stringing out that line of scrimmage. Keith Freeman out there at that corner. Again, Ethan Foster is starting ahead of Bobby Baker today. Baker out with an injury.
2nd and 8.
So 2nd and 8 upcoming. Gerberding lined up far side. In the slot is Wes Watson, far side. And Schindler looks to throw, comes back near side. It is overthrown, incomplete. Coming back near side, looking for Hamilton. Hamilton, their leader in receptions coming into the game today with 10 receptions and 3 touchdowns.
It's 3rd down.
So quickly now, 3rd down for Illinois Wesleyan. Titans 1 for 3 on third downs this afternoon. Gerberding lined up in a slot. Right side. Schindler trying to step up in the pocket, delivers a high throw, and it goes incomplete through the hands of the intended receiver, Gerberding. Jalen Dennis in coverage for the Firebirds. A 3 and out again for the Titans.
8 Titans from their own 18-yard line.
So 3rd and 8 from the 18. Second punt of the afternoon for Jonathan Rukuju. Timeout taken by Carthage. They were short a player.
First of the half.
So timeout Carthage with 13:04 to play. Each team using a timeout here in this first half. Carthage College Firebird football on AM 1050 WLIP is brought to you in part by Mason's Eatery and Pub on Highway 50 just west of Highway 31 in Kenosha. I want a big thank you to the folks at Mason's today. They provided the team with their meal this morning, a breakfast burrito and some fruit and hash browns. It was delicious. There was nothing left. So again, if they can feed 100 football players, imagine what they can do if you have a banquet or a large party going to Mason's Eatery and Pub. And again, we'll be there Monday night from 7 until 9. Carthage Athletic Insider presented by Mobile One Communications. 7 to 9 live at Mason's Pub and live here on 1050 WLIP. Rukujo into punt again. His first punt went 46 yards. He'll get this one away. Jarvis drifting back through his hands. It's loose and it's recovered by the Titans. It bounced through the hands of Jarvis and the Titans get it. Anthony Mare getting down on special teams, able to cover it up. And the Titans get a break here as they get the takeaway at the Carthage 44-yard line. Jarvis was standing at the 50-yard line, had to back up inside the 45 to try and make that catch. Maybe we should have just let it bounce rather than attempt that backpedaling catch. Let's see if that's the spark for this Titan offense. They're back at it. Hamilton in the slot right side. Schindler, empty backfield now on the scramble, dumps it out, man open over the middle, and late breaking on the ball was Jalen Dennis, the nickelback, able to jump the route, get a hand in there, and knock it away incomplete. They were looking for Hamid Bully, the running back, over the middle that time. So Dennis with a couple of tackles, tackle for loss, and a pass breakup. 2nd and 10 from the 44. 12:50 to play first half. Carthage leading 14-0. Travis Boston Jr. a 2-yard touchdown run. Eddie L. with the 20-yard touchdown grab. And now timeout taken by Illinois Wesleyan. The play clock was running out. And the Titans take their second timeout. We will step out as well. 14-0 Carthage, 12:50 to play on your home for Carthage football, AM 1050 WLIP. Coming out of the timeout, Hamid Bully running it up the middle, inside the 40, down to the Carthage 37-yard line, setting up a 3rd and 3 for the Titans. This drive set up by the muffed punt by Alex Jarvis. And again, facing third down where they are 1 for 4 so far today. Schindler will give to Hamid Bully. Bully to the 45-yard line. Boy, forward progress, it's going to be close. The headlinesman here marking him short of the first down. Good job by a host of Carthage players there defensively to get Bully and stop his forward progress, but the Titans are going to go for it here. 4th and about a half a yard. They need to get the ball across the Carthage 34-yard line. Bully, the single back behind Schindler, working on a pistol. Now creeps up, and there was movement up front. Looked like the left side jumped.
Before the snap, false start offense number 56. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Jake Tenza, the left tackle, jumping that time. Takes him out of 4th and 1, makes it a 4th and 6 now. But not going to change the philosophy here. Or maybe. Punting unit coming on now. Looks like they're going to play field position here. Cujo. That last punt went through Jarvis's hands. Jarvis has his heels at the 10-yard line. And now whistles at the snap.
Before the snap, delay a game, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Now, uncharacteristic of Illinois Wesleyan here today, back-to-back penalties. Far cry from the game here back in 2019. They got off the bus and jumped on the Firebirds 25-0 before you knew it. Cujo gets a high snap, gets this one away. And it's a short punt, end over end, bounces inside the 25, rolls inside the 20, and will roll dead near the 17-yard line. Just a 28-yard punt that time by Rakujo. And Carthage will get it at the 17-yard line. 10:56 to play. Some other scores, only one other game going on right now in the CCIW, a 1 o'clock kick, and it's Wheaton and North Park, and the Thunder still with a hangover from that loss to North Central last week. It's 14-13 Thunder in Chicago over North Park. Vikings giving them a little bit of a fit late in that first quarter. Lowe will hand off to Wright, trying to come around the left side, and there's nothing there. Titan defense had that play read well. DiGregorio there to make this tackle for a loss. Loss back inside the 15-yard line. They'll mark it at the 13.
By DiGregorio.
Second tackle for a loss so far today for DiGregorio. Loss of 3, 2nd down, 13. Lowe from the pistol. 2 receivers here to the near side for Carthage, and Lowe wants to throw. Protection breaks down, and down he goes. They're bringing pressure now, and Carthage unable to pick up the blitz.
Lowe brought down in the backfield.
Late penalty marker down 2 inside the 10.
Holding, offense number 64, that penalty is declined.
Drew Neville, the left tackle, guilty of the hold.
Please reset the game clock to 10 minutes, 8 seconds, 10:08.
So they'll decline the penalty, 2nd sack of the game by the Titan defense. Connor Murphy getting credited with the sack. This time they'll give it to Wright. Wright busts it outside, gets it back across the 10 to about the 12-yard line. We'll give David Collins a little bit more room to punt as this drive stalls here for Carthage. And they stopped Wright on 1st down for a 3-yard loss, and then the sack by
Gain of 7, it brings up
Connor Murphy.
down.
And so Collins set to kick here. Jarrett Kreider, the punt returner, averaging about 7 yards per return, standing at midfield. Carthage going left to right here in the second quarter. They'll be looking into that sun as well. Fair catch signaled for and made at the Carthage 47-yard line. 35-yard punt, no return, 9:17 to play here in this first half, and a 14-0 lead for the Carthage Firebirds. Our game today brought to you by Harbor Park Health and Fitness, 3417 14th Avenue. That's 1 mile south of the Carthage campus at Harbor Park Health and Fitness. Everybody is unique. You'll find something that works for you. Fitness and performance, health and longevity, rehab and corrective exercise. They have all of that there. Harbor Park Health and Fitness, harborparkcf.com. Hamid Bully gets the carry around the left side, falls forward inside the 45 to about the 43-yard line. Gain of about 4 on the play for Bully. On the stop for the Firebirds, Jalen Gales. They're without Jalen Slater today. They get there quickly. Hamid Bully coming around the right side, cuts it back at the hash mark, and he barely gets to the 40-yard line. He's short of the first down. Good job by Carthage again. Jalen Dennis in there on that stop.
Bully on the carry, brought down by Hale.
We'll credit Zach Hale with the tackle. And they get to the line quickly. Bully again, first down and more, up the middle, cuts it back to his right, inside the 35, down to the 30-yard line. Little NASCAR action here on the speed up and the hurry up offensively. They get to the lines quickly now and ready to snap it.
Wesleyan first down, 1st and 10 Titans from the Carthage 30.
So a 10-yard gain for Bully that time to the Carthage 30. This time they'll swing it to Bully out of the backfield. Bully inside the 30, near side to the 25 for a gain of 5. On the stop for the Firebirds, Garrett Warner. Again, the Titans going with hurry up. They'll exchange running backs here as Bully will come out. Anthony Mare in now. He'll line up left to the quarterback Schindler. And Mare will get the call. Mare inside the 25, stops short of the first down at the 24-yard line.
There on the carry, no gain on the play, brings up 3rd and 4.
So no gain, 3rd and 4 from the 24. 7:20 to go, first half. Carthage leading 14-0. Empty backfield, Schindler looking to throw with time. Back over the middle, completes the pass. Wes Watson down the far sideline into the end zone. Touchdown, Illinois Wesleyan. Now they take advantage of the short field, and they convert from the 24-yard line. It'll go as a 24-yard touchdown pass from Schindler to Wes Watson. Watson's first touchdown reception of the year, and it's 14-6 Carthage. And they'll use that swinging gate formation on the extra points. Andrew Stang, he had a rough week last week, missed a couple of extra points and what would have been the game-winning field goal as time expired. This one is up, and this one is good, just inside the left upright. 14-7. 6 plays, 47 yards. The 24-yard touchdown pass from Schindler to Wesley Watson. Touchdown pass of the year. Watson was lined up in a slot left side, just dragged across the middle at the 20-yard line, and Carthage broke in coverage that time, and he was wide open and then just curled the far numerals between the numerals and the sideline, took it in for the touchdown. Let's be ready here. Might see an onside kick here. Jarvis and Eddie L will be the deep men. And again, Jarvis, or I should say L, continues to amaze me with a touchdown catch today. 3 touchdown catches with his left hand in a soft cast. Amazing story there. See if Carthage can get the momentum back here. Stang has it teed up on the hash mark near side at the 35-yard line. L, the far deep man. Jarvis, the near deep. kicking it away. And this will go over Jarvis's head and through the end zone for the touchback. Carthage ball at the 25-yard line. Carthage on the road next week. They will head down to Decatur to take on Milliken. We will have the broadcast on AM 1050 WLIP next Saturday afternoon, 12:45 pregame, 1 o'clock kick from Milliken. It's their homecoming weekend down there. 14-7, Carthage in front. Firebirds with the ball at their own 25-yard line to start this drive. Noel Wright, the tailback, lined up to the right of Bryce Lowe, the quarterback. Marquette, the tight end, in motion. They'll play fake. They'll come out, throw near side. Severe Campbell with the catch. Across the 20. Campbell to the 27-yard line as he broke 2 different tackles. Takes it out to the 37-yard line. It'll be a gain of 12 and a first down for Severe Campbell. Nicely done there. Just a quick hitter.
First and 10, Carthage from their own.
Again, without Cole Verselli today. A little bit of a hamstring issue. So Campbell going to see some action. Play fake to right. Blitz is on. They pick it up. Bryce Lowe coming back near side. Catch was made by Campbell, but he was out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Coverage on the play by Artist Benjamin. Again, they're sending pressure. Last couple of times they've been rushing 5, sending a linebacker. Got the 4 linemen, and they've been shooting the outside linebacker a couple of times. Brady Say lined up in that outside spot. 2nd down and 10. From the 37, right, left side. Now cuts back toward the middle. Struggles forward, gets to about the 40-yard line. A tough 3 yards for Noel Wright.
For a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd down.
So 3rd and about 7 here. Skylar Metzger on that tackle for the Titans. And so 3rd down for Carthage, not been kind either. 1 for 4 today on 3rd down conversions. Three receivers to the near side for the Firebirds. Low from the pistol will send man in motion to the far side. Low throwing that way, looking for Campbell, makes the catch across midfield. He will take it all the way. Touchdown Firebirds. Oh, what a catch by Sylvere Campbell down that far sideline. He just broke free for a moment across the 45, and he made a leaping grab in stride and took it in for the touchdown. 40-yard reception for Sylvere Campbell. He is now over 100 yards today, and Carthage increases their lead to 20-7. Collins on the extra point. It is up, and it is good. 21-7 Carthage. 5:46 to play here in this first half. What a play. 4 plays, 75 yards. Low, his 2nd touchdown pass of the game, hitting Sylvere Campbell for 60 yards on the play. Campbell now 104 yards in the receiving department today. Beautifully done. They rushed for, tried a little stunt, and he just dropped in, got behind Connor Nigro, the strong safety, got a step on him, and Lowe threw it in the right spot, taking advantage of his height. Campbell, 6'3" out of Muskego Martin Luther High School. That's his first collegiate touchdown. Lowe today, 9 of 13 for 167 yards and a pair of touchdowns.
Alvin and Woodson back deep for the Titans.
Elbin is back deep. Along with Woodson. Woodson will just let it fly through the end zone for the touchback. Attaboy.
Collins kick goes
Collins with a healthy boot that time through the north end zone. So the Titans will take over on their own 25-yard line. Coming up at halftime this afternoon, a visit with Jake Denauer, the head athletic trainer here at Carthage College, and talk a little bit about what life has been like for the training staff here in the last year and a half. And he will share some insight on just how this testing goes about, the COVID testing and the policies in place, and the new normal. It'll be with Jake Denauer coming up at halftime here from Art Keller Field. 1st and 10 Titans from their own 25, trailing 21-7. They throw it far side. Pass is complete. Yes. Schindler able to hit Gerberding. Couple of yard pickup that time. Let's see where they mark it, just across the 28-yard line. So a gain of 3, we'll call it. Second and 7. Bully the single back, bobbled the handoff. It's Schindler now coming around the right side. He'll take it across the 30, out of bounds at the 31-yard line. Looked like he was trying to hand it off. There is a penalty marker down, and the official's hat is off as well. So we have both a hat and a marker at the 30-yard line.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both on the offense. Holding, offense number 65. Personal foul, dead ball, late hit out of bounds, offense number 65. Both those fouls will be enforced. The second one will be half the distance to the goal. The down will count.
So Jake Bowie, the preseason All-American candidate at center, first team All-Conference in 2019, guilty of both fouls.
Correction, it is second down. Second down.
So this will move the football back inside the 20-yard line. They will decline the holding call, pick up the roughing out of bounds call. And they will spot this. I'm going to try it again.
The holding foul will be declined. The dead ball personal foul will be enforced. It'll be third down.
I think the umpire stepped it off incorrectly. He's going to try it again. We'll mark it just inside the Titan 15-yard line. Again, penalties stacking up here against the Titans today. That's 4 on Wesleyan today that have been accepted. Jake Bowie with the holding call that was declined. He also picked up the roughing call out of bounds. So this will be second down and 20. Schindler drops back, dumps it over the middle, completes again to Watson, cuts back near side. Penalty marker down as he was tripped up. Able to chase him down that time for the Firebirds was Garrett Warner, but there is a flag down. Might be holding again here on
holding. Offense number 1. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is fourth down.
It was on Bully that time as he held up Jalen Dennis. Bring up fourth down, and so the punting unit back on for the Titans.
Penalty against the Titans was declined. Brings up 4th and 10.
So 4th and 10 from the 25. Rukujo kicks it away. Nice high spiraling kick. Jarvis will take in traffic at the 40, and down he goes right there. Forward progress at the 40-yard line. And down on that play was A.J. Lust, 6'6" senior out of Springfield on special teams for the Titans.
Jarvis brought down in the Carthage 40.
So it'll be Carthage ball at their own 40. Just over 4.5 minutes to go here in the first half. The Firebirds leading 21-7. Bryce Lowe with a pair of touchdown passes this afternoon. He has right to his right. And the give us to right going left. Right across the line of scrimmage, steps out of a tackle to 45 to midfield, cuts it back at the 45, spins inside the Titan 45 to the Illinois Wesleyan 41-yard line. 19-yard run, that was all Noel Wright, the sophomore out of Houston, breaking tackles and picking up the first down. Just going left and then got outside the left hash mark, was able to step out of one tackle. It took 3 more attempts before they finally got him down. First and 10 Firebirds at the Titan 42. Under 4 minutes to play here in the first half. Carthage up 21-7. Lowe wants to throw, has protection. Going to go over the middle. Jarvis wide open, catch at the 10, 5, touchdown Carthage. Alex Jarvis, the Indian Trail grad, with the 3rd touchdown reception of the afternoon for the Firebirds, and they lead it now 27-7. Beautifully executed that time, a 42-yard pass by Bryce Lowe, hitting Alex Jarvis in stride, caught it at the 10 and galloped in for the touchdown. Collins for the extra point. That one's no good, wide left. 27-7, Firebirds with 3:47 to play. Talk about a hot start. Carthage matching the intensity today. Bryce Lowe with 3 touchdown passes today. This one from 42 yards out. Again, good protection up front. Lofted a nice ball, and again, they were picking on the corner there as actually Brady Say, the linebacker, was lined up on Jarvis, who was in the slot left side, and no match. Jarvis with that speed, able to take it in for 6. So Jarvis, the 42-yard touchdown reception. Eddie L. the third, a 20-yard touchdown reception. Sylvere Campbell with a 60-yard touchdown grab, and Carthage up 27-7. The freshman Bryce Lowe in his first collegiate start. Collins with the kick. It'll go through the end zone. Touchback, back to the 25-yard line. 3:47 to play in the half. Titans with 1 timeout remaining. Carthage trying to snap a 5-game losing skid to the Titans. Sage Schindler, 9 of 16 for 65 yards and a touchdown. 24-yard touchdown pass to Wes Watson. The only scorer for the Titans this afternoon thus far. He'll have Bully lined up behind him. Now moves him off to his left, working from the pistol. From the 25, 1st and 10. Give is to Bully, tries to go around the right side. Met at the line of scrimmage and pulled down. Jalen Dennis was there almost immediately. Jake Tomzak with the cleanup for the Carthage defense. No gain, 2nd and 10. Bully 12 carries now for 29 yards. They'll roll Schindler to his left. Wants to throw, steps up, heaves it. It's going to go out of bounds here to the near side, looking for Watson. Well covered on the play by Jake Tomzak. Tomzak with a pair of interceptions in the loss to UW Whitewater on opening day. And quickly, it's 3rd and 10 facing the Titans. Titans 3 of 7 in this first half on 3rd downs. Schindler now, protection breaks down, and he goes down back at the 15-yard line. Oliver Cox getting the late start today ahead of Jalen Slater out with an injury. Cox gets the sack back at the 16-yard line, and the Titans will punt here. Clock rolling, under 3 minutes to play in the half.
Rakujo to punt for the Titans. Jarvis deep for the Firebirds.
Rakujo will kick this punt from his own goal line here. Jarvis standing at midfield. Play clock down to 10. And another short punt. Jarvis will get away from it. It will take a backward bounce to the 39-yard line. Just a 23-yard kick by Rakujo. And 2:24 left. Carthage looking for more here, leading 27-7. This could be the knockout punch right here. Bryce Lowe, 10 of 14, 209 yards in this first half. 3 touchdown passes by Lowe today. He has Noel Wright in the backfield, 4 receivers going out here on first down from the Titan 39, and he wants to throw. With time, comes back near side. Sylvere Campbell with the catch inside the 30, and he's tripped up at the 23-yard line. 16-yard pickup to Sylvere Campbell, and again, a nice job up front by the Carthage line. Gave Lowe a nice lane to throw. From the 23, 1st and 10 Firebirds. Again coming out throwing. Swings it out to the tight end. Catch is made here on the near side. Jordan Wiles. His first reception today. Keeps the clock rolling. Got out of bounds actually with 1:57 to play. So pick up a 4, 2nd down and 6. 3 receivers left here for Carthage. Lowe scrambling to his right now. Throws on the run looking for Campbell, but threw it away, incomplete. Campbell coming across the middle of the end zone that time. Pass was thrown high, and he was well covered, double teamed that time by the Titan defense. Good job by Lowe to get enough on that just to throw it away. 1:51 to play, 3rd and 6 from the Titan 18 for the Firebirds. Taking a long look to this sideline here to get the play signaled in. Carthage has 2 quarterbacks and an offensive coordinator signaling things to the quarterback. Play clock down to 4. They just get it away. Lowe coming up, throwing. Campbell with the catch inside the 5. Fights his way down to the 1. Sylvere Campbell on a quick slant. Made the catch just inside the 10 and took a couple of defenders with him down to the 1-yard line. 1st and goal, Firebirds at the 1. What an afternoon for Sylvere Campbell. 17-yard pickup, that's his 6th reception. 137 yards here in the first half for Campbell. 1st and goal from the 1. Give us to Noel Wright. Touchdown, Carthage. Noel Wright punches it in. 33-7 Firebirds.
With 1:20 left in the first
That,
half,
my friends, may be the knockout.
Wesleyan 7.
The Titans sideline stunned.
On for the point after try. Tally to hold.
Collins with the extra point. It is up, and it is good. 34-7. Firebirds, 1:20 left in this first half. A 5-play, 39-yard drive. The big play, the 17-yard pass from Lowe to Campbell, setting up Noel Wright for the 1-yard touchdown run. Lowe in this first half, in his first collegiate start, 13 of 18 for 247 yards, 3 touchdowns today. And here's the look. We're watching the replay on Noel Wright's 1-yard plunge up the middle. Carthage 317 yards here in this first half. So if the Titans stunned. I mean, I'm just looking over there. It just hands on hips, Normesh, arms folded. Head coach for the Titans on that far sideline. Another kick that will go through the end zone and the touchback.
Allen's kick goes through the end zone. Titans take over 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line.
It'll be Schindler coming back out. Again, they have one timeout remaining. The turning point of this contest was that fake punt that Carthage pulled off. It just threw the Titans on their heels, and they were able to close to 14-7, but Carthage with 20 unanswered from that point on. They'll stack 2 receivers to the right. They'll hand it off to Bully. 5-yard pickup out to the 30-yard line for Hamid Bully.
Bully on the carry.
Brought down on the play.
Gain of 5, brings up 2nd and 5.
By Chris DeVito. Seen DeVito a couple of times on special teams this afternoon making some tackles. Titans just looking to run out the clock here and see if they try something downfield. They've got 3 receivers to the right and a single back. Now they move the receiver here to the near side, Gerberding. They'll give it to Hamid, and Hamid's going to be wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. Another great job by Carthage. DeVito again there on the stop. Back-to-back tackles by Chris DeVito, and it's 3rd down. 30 seconds to go here in the half. Illinois Wesleyan this afternoon on 3rd down, 3 of 8. They're going to take as much time off of here as they can, and they will just let the clock run out. And so the Carthage Firebirds in their home opener for 2021 have exploded for 34 points here in this first half and lead the Illinois Wesleyan Titans 34-7. We will break, take a 2-minute timeout. When we come back, an interview with Jake Denauer, the head athletic trainer here at Carthage College. 34-7, Firebirds on top of the Titans on your home for Carthage Athletics, Kenosha's radio station, AM 1050 WLIP. Okay, this is our halftime interview with Jake Denauer, and it's coming down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Your Carthage cheer team.
Welcome back to Art Keller Field, everyone, as we enjoy. Welcome back to Art Keller Field, everyone, as we enjoy halftime here in Kenosha. First home game of the season for the Carthage Firebirds, taking on Illinois Wesleyan. It's my pleasure to introduce a very big, integral part of Carthage athletics this last year. He is the Assistant Athletic Director for Sports Medicine. He's the Athletics and Healthcare Administrator and Senior Lecturer in that program. Mr. Jake Denauer, probably the busiest guy on campus the last 2 years,
That's
Jake.
probably true. Yeah.
What is going on? I'll tell you what, though. Nate Stewart has spoken so highly of what you have been able to do over these last 2 seasons, getting players ready to play, keeping this athletic department running with all the COVID testing. Talk a little bit about what the new normal is for athletic training.
It really is a new normal, and I don't know if the profession will ever really go back to pre-COVID. I sure hope so. I just don't know that that'll ever happen. But it seems like in general we have to just be so flexible and prepared for things to change, because that's really the way things have been from the beginning, right? So things are already so different now compared to what they were in the spring, compared to last fall, and that sort of flexibility and ability just to change at a moment's notice really is the key part and the challenge, right? So right now, most of our student athletes, we're tracking vaccination status. Those that are fully vaccinated don't have to take part in testing unless they are symptomatic. Those that are unvaccinated need to test 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. The way that they're doing that is with rapid testing, so we get results within 15 minutes. Then we're doing contact tracing when we have positives. We obviously still have some that are fully vaccinated with symptoms that still certainly contract COVID, and we have to just be able to move back and forth and manage it all and keep people safe. So it really is a huge task. Yeah.
When do you start your day? Your 28 hours.
Yeah, much of the testing now that this fall is being done, we've contracted with a testing company to do the actual testing. So they start at 8 o'clock in the morning. Some mornings I have a slow start, and things don't really pick up until later in the day. Yesterday, for example, I had a nice slow morning where I was able to get some exercise in and do some stuff like that, and then all of a sudden, dinging 4 positives, quickly. So, and that's not just athletic positives. I'm notified of all positives on campus. So they're testing faculty, staff, non-athlete students, that are unvaccinated. So I'm notified of all those positives on campus. Have to do a lot of different notifications and still start the tracing and that type of thing. So 8, 9 o'clock, if I'm lucky, I can start that late. Yeah.
And it goes till, and your days run till when?
Typically I'm on my way home around 7:30 at night. So I would say, 10, 12-hour days are not unusual. Plus Saturdays, I try to give myself a Sunday off to sort of see the family. So, yeah.
Of course, you need that time too. But you were just telling me before we started that part of the other duty now is you're in constant contact with the other athletic trainers from the conference, and so you guys are constantly on the phone or Zoom calling with individuals and talking about situations that are popping up.
Yeah, we all are dealing with positives on campus right now. I think we all know that we're sort of up on the top of this curve. Hopefully it's the top, and then we'll be coming down in a few months. We are in constant communication with other schools when we have positives to report what's going on, report our contact tracing, if it's an individual case, if it's sort of like a team outbreak kind of thing, which luckily we haven't had. But we have to communicate with all of our area schools and make sure that everybody's comfortable with the competition, and then we have to do what we need to do to make them comfortable. So sometimes that includes testing an entire travel party, including the fully vaccinated, even the coaching staff and everybody, right before they get on the bus and load. So if that makes that opponent comfortable, that we do that degree of testing, we're going to do it to allow that participation. So that's, we had, for example, women's soccer was loading the bus. They were getting tested. They were supposed to be on the bus in 30 minutes, had a positive, and we tested the entire travel party. And luckily they were able to compete for the weekend and that type of thing. So things change very much last minute, and we have to be flexible with that.
Now you were also responsible, correct me if I'm wrong, but when the officials come in too, are you responsible for them? I know in the spring you were.
In the
Is that still part of your...
In the spring we were. Now thankfully that's not part of our responsibility. So most of the officials thankfully can just prove their vaccination status, and it's not something we need to track anymore. So I think Kelsey or Nate or the conference office probably does some of that checking with the officials, but luckily it's not on our plate. And honestly, that was a nightmare in the spring, right? We'd have all the football officials in there at our busiest time when the room is full, and we got to run outside and do all this testing on officials when we're really busy. We needed really one person just here for the officials testing while everything else was going on. So it really was a stretch. Yeah.
Now, you have a staff that works with you. You've got a student staff as well as other athletic trainers that work with you here full time.
Yeah. So we're lucky to have some AT, some licensed staff. That staff has grown over the years. We've added wrestling, we've added some contact sports that really required that we add some staff. So luckily we have full staff at the moment, and they're terrific. They really have taken a big load off of me. They aren't quite as involved in the COVID testing. They don't do any contact tracing. A lot of that falls on my plate. But we're lucky to have a strong staff. Our students, we pay work study staff to really help with some of the setup and field prep and that type of thing, and then our AT students that are part of their education program, we're preceptors for them, so they're assigned to us as part of their clinical rotations, and then learning, what it entails to be an AT as part of their rotation. So yeah.
That's a new program here at Carthage. Talk a little bit about that. I know you were active in putting that together.
I wasn't real active in putting it together, but I've got some, obviously I'm an alumni. The way the program was done back when I went to school here, things have transitioned, right? We had to transition the AT education program to a master's entry-level program. So before it was a bachelor's level program, and that's really no different than occupational therapists or PTs. A lot of those professions have transitioned their entry-level academic program. So AT followed suit with that. We had to transition to a master's level program, which we did. So now our incoming students will not be eligible to become a licensed AT, unless they graduate with a master's degree. So we've transitioned to sort of a 3-2 program where they have their first 3 years is really in an allied health profession major, and then they apply for admission into the AT education program for their senior year, and then 1 year of grad school. So it's a 5-year degree to leave with a master's in athletic training.
And that's fantastic. It fits right into their academic plan, and they get hands-on training here, working with all the varsity teams here.
Right. Yeah, and they have a lot of off-site rotations as well. So they get a lot of experience here on campus with all of our teams and our staff. But they have a lot of outside clinical rotations in the area as well. So they get exposed to a lot. Yeah.
Talking with Jake Denauer, head athletic trainer here at Carthage College, also the assistant athletic director for sports medicine here at Carthage, and wanted to talk about your side hustle, man. You're also the assistant chief of the Raymond Fire Department.
Yeah,
is that true?
That's true. It's been 20 years. It'll be 20 years in December that I've been with them. Honestly, it was something that I felt like I wanted to become an EMT, just to make me better prepared for an emergency on the athletic field, right? So I was in grad school. I figured I wanted to go to EMT school to make me a better AT. Really fell in love and love doing it. Joined the local fire department in the community that I live, and then really advanced some additional schooling in EMS and some of the fire classes. And not that I have a lot of extra time, but it is something that I do on the side and really enjoy. And I really enjoy both aspects of what I'm able to do. I think the AT makes me a better EMS and firefighter, and I think that also makes me a better AT. Yeah.
Fellow Firebird just told me recently that you got an interesting weekend this weekend. After the game today, what do you got going on tomorrow? Is it a controlled burn or something?
It's coming up. It's not this weekend.
Okay.
It's in October. It's the first weekend in October. We have a training burn, a house burn that we do. It actually was a home that it was a structure fire that we had in the community. I was on that call, fighting that fire, and now the homeowners would like the whole structure down. So we're gonna do make it into a sort of a training burn, and teach some of the young guys some new skills and get rid of the home for them. So yeah.
So when you're not doing all this stuff,
Yeah.
what is Jake Denauer doing his free time?
Very
limited free time.
I don't have a lot. I've got 3 young kids that are very involved in sports, so I'm trying to help my wife get them hauled around to all their sports and attend as much as I can. But that's a challenge this time of year. So really, that's all I have time for. A little exercise, some stuff with fire and rescue, and then trying to be a dad as much as I can. Yeah.
The wives are the ones that suffer the most. I know Gina has been, 20 years now that I'm lost for the weekend,
Yes.
and I'm sure that's how it goes
Yep.
in the Denauer family.
It
too.
is. Yep, it is.
Well, Jake, thank you so much for
Sure.
joining us. I thought it would be nice just to highlight one of the star players behind the scenes here at Carthage College, Jake Denauer, the head athletic trainer, currently the assistant athletic director for sports medicine here at Carthage College. Our guest, Jake, thank you so much.
Thank you,
Best of
John.
luck the rest of the way, and
Thanks.
we'll see you around quite a bit. We'll be back. We'll have statistics and the second half kickoff coming your way next here on AM 1050 WLIP. Welcome back. Halftime, everyone, here at Art Keller Field, as it's been all Carthage College so far this afternoon as they lead the Illinois Wesleyan Titans 34-7. Carthage with 14 first downs in that first half, and they pick up 317 yards in that first half against the Titans. Titans with only 92 total yards here today. Carthage got the scoring started. It was Carthage going on a 13-play, 75-yard drive, their first possession after stopping Illinois Wesleyan on a 3-and-out. They got the ball at the 25-yard line and went 75 yards in 13 plays, taking almost 6 minutes off the clock. And going in for his first collegiate touchdown was Travis Boston Jr., a freshman out of Detroit. That made it Carthage 7 and Illinois Wesleyan nothing. Then on the next possession, Carthage went on a fake field goal, or a fake punt, I should say. David Collins tossing to Zach Hale, converting on 4th down, kept the drive alive, and then that 9-play, 73-yard drive completed on Bryce Lowe's first touchdown pass of the game, a 20-yarder to Eddie L. III. Early in the second quarter, it was 14-0 Carthage. Illinois Wesleyan closed it to 14-7 midway through the second on a 6-play, 47-yard drive. It was Schindler tossing to Watson from 24 yards out. That cut the deficit in half to 14-7. But Carthage would go on and score 20 unanswered to close out the half. Severe Campbell with a 60-yard touchdown pass from Lowe. Lowe then hit Jarvis from 42 yards out. And then Noel Wright, a 1-yard run, closing out the scoring just before halftime, 34-7 Firebirds. Individually for Carthage in that first half, Bryce Lowe in his first collegiate start, 13 of 18, 247 yards, 3 touchdowns. He was sacked twice. Sylvere Campbell with 8 targets, 6 receptions, 137 yards receiving for Campbell today, and the 1 touchdown. Alex Jarvis, 2 receptions for 67. Eddie L, 2 for 26. And, of course, Zach Hale with that nice catch on the fake punt as well, getting into the offensive statistics here today. Rushing the football, Noel Wright, the sophomore from Houston, Texas, 14 carries, 52 yards, a long of 18, and 1 touchdown for Wright. Meanwhile, for Illinois Wesleyan, 92 yards of offense in that first half. Quarterback Sage Schindler, 9 of 17 for 65 yards, a touchdown, and and a sack today. It was Charlie Hamilton with 3 receptions for 22 yards. Hamid Bully with 3 receptions for 5, and Wesley Watson 2 receptions for 35, including a 24-yard touchdown pass. Rushing the football, Hamid Bully 14 carries for 34 yards, a 2.4-yard average. Again, coming into the game, Bully averaging better than 7 yards a carry, but held to just 2.4 per carry here this afternoon. Penalties, 3 penalties for 24 yards against Illinois Wesleyan, 2 for 25 charged against Carthage. Time of possession pretty even. Illinois Wesleyan 15:57, Carthage 14:03. Third down conversions, Illinois Wesleyan 3 of 8, Carthage 3 of 6, but Carthage has converted on both of its 4th down conversions today. Punting, David Collins only 1 punt in that first half for 35 yards. Jonathan Rucujo 5 punts, a 34-yard average along of 46. Defensively, Chris DeVito leading the way in tackling for Carthage with 6, including a tackle for a loss. Garrett Warner with 5. Oliver Cox getting the surprise start today at defensive end. Cox with 5 tackles and a sack so far this afternoon. Other scores in the CCIW, one game underway with that 1 o'clock kickoff. Last we saw it was Wheaton on top of North Park, and that game is coming to a halftime. 34-13, Wheaton. North Central has jumped out with 2 scores early in the first quarter over Augustana, 14-0. And Washington University leading Elmhurst late in the first quarter at Elmhurst, 3-0. Later tonight, 6 o'clock kick down in Decatur. Carroll University taking on the Milliken Big Blue. So the Firebirds will get the football to start this second half. And boy, Bryce Lowe, the freshman out of Tampa, Florida, Steinbrenner High School. He is making his first collegiate start, came on in relief last week in the win over Elmhurst, gets his first start today and picks up right where he left off. 247 yards passing in that first half. And Carthage on the road next week. They'll travel to Milliken to take on the Big Blue. That'll be a 1 o'clock kick from Decatur. We'll be with you at 12:45 next Saturday afternoon from Decatur. Beautiful Decatur, Illinois. I want to thank Jake Denauer for taking some time to spend some time with us, get to know him a little bit better, the head athletic trainer here at Carthage College. I hope you enjoyed that interview. Boy, nice insight onto what goes on behind the scenes here with COVID and all the protocols and things that go on. Jarvis and Eddie L., each with a touchdown reception today. They are standing deep for the Firebirds here to receive the second half kickoff, moving from right to left, north to south here at beautiful Art Keller Field, and it's great to see the stands packed with fans here today. Beautiful day, food trucks here today. We've got bouncy houses out there today for the kids, and just a great atmosphere and a great afternoon for football here at Art Keller Field. And the second half kickoff on the way, floats down to Eddie L. at the 6, up the near hash mark across the 20, and wrestled down from behind, short of the 25-yard line. So Carthage will get it there. Firebirds offense, 317 yards in that first half. And they go right back to work. Bryce Lowe, an impressive start in his first collegiate start. 13 of 18, 247 yards and 3 touchdowns in that first half. And the ball was coming out on time on all of his passes here this afternoon. He will have 3 receivers to his right. Noel Wright, the lone back, in the backfield. From the 24-yard line, 1st and 10. And Lowe, play fake, going to come out, toss it to Severe Campbell, makes the catch on the edge, out of bounds in the near sideline near the 35-yard line. It'll be a gain of 11 and a first down as Campbell now picking up his 7th reception of the afternoon. 147 yards already today for Campbell. Starting ahead of the receiver, Cole Verselli, who is out with a hamstring injury. Now, penalty here, Carthage.
Illegal substitution on the offense, 12 players in formation. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Carthage tried to get a player off, but had lined up in a 3 wide receiver set here on the near side and then slowly stepped to the sideline. That was Sylvere Campbell. He didn't want to come off, and I can't blame him. 7 catches for 148 yards today, including a 60-yarder for a touchdown. 1st and 15 from the 30. Williamson in motion, the tight end, now sets up left side. They give us to right, stumbled over the quarterback and got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. A little timing messed up that time as they got their feet tangled. Josh Lovichuk there to make the tackle for Illinois Wesleyan. Up front for Carthage, it's Drew Neville at left tackle, Omar Roberts at left guard, Adam Gilmeister at center, Alex Diaz at right guard, and Jason Aguilar at right tackle. Williamson and Marquette, the tight ends. 2nd down and 15 from the 30. Lowe working from the pistol, right in the backfield, wants to throw. Comes up right side and a pass thrown behind. Alex Jarvis incomplete. He was open near the 35-yard line, got in front of the defensive back that time. It was Skyler Metzger, but unable to connect. Really the first bad pass thrown by Lowe here today. So 3rd and 15. Carthage on the game, 3 of 6 on 3rd down conversions. They'll go receivers to the right side on 3rd and 15. Pressure coming. Lowe able to step around it. Scrambles left, throwing left. Has 2 receivers out there, and it goes incomplete. Sylvere Campbell along with Jordan Wiles right in the same neighborhood at midfield. And the pass is incomplete. Brings up 4th down, and Carthage will punt it away. Just the 2nd punt today for Collins. Of course, his first attempt was a fake. He was able to hit Zach Hale for a 32-yard catch over the middle. Led to the 2nd Carthage touchdown today. Jarrett Kreider is standing inside his own 30. Low line drive kick. Kreider will let it bounce to him at the 27. Going to his left, gets to the 30. Is tripped up. Marker down as well. He down there on special teams for the Firebirds. Let's see. At 34, I believe. Might have been Napoli. There was a flag on the play right around the tackle. This may be adding some yardage here. Ben Lagaki.
There's no foul on the play for a block in the back. First down.
Okay, so they wave it off. Ben Lagaki, our official here today. His crew working the game. So the Titans, their first possession, second half, trailing 34-7. Just over 13 minutes to go. At the 33, 2 receivers near side. Watson and Hamilton. Play fake to Hamid Bully. Schindler going over the middle, has a man there. Leaping attempt incomplete. Ball thrown high that time, looking for Hamilton. A bit of a skinny post that time. He was defended on the play by the Carthage defender out there, Ethan Foster, who made his start today ahead of Bobby Baker, who's out with an injury. 2nd and 10 upcoming. Again, Watson and Hamilton split here to the near side. They'll go with twin tight ends on either side. The lone backfield Bully, and he'll get the call. Trying to pick his way over the middle, and nothing doing. Stout defense up front for Carthage once again. In on the stop was Zach Hale. Hale, the sophomore out of Onondaga High School out there in Roscoe, Illinois, just outside of Rockford. 2-yard pickup, 3rd down and 8 upcoming. Hale with 13 tackles coming into the game here today, including a fumble recovery. That was back against Whitewater 3 weeks ago. Third down, 3 for 8 today. The Titans on third down from their own 35. Schindler drops back, throwing, comes back near side, broken up, incomplete. Keith Freeman getting a hand in there to punch it away from Charlie Hamilton. And another great defensive coverage by the Carthage secondary, forcing a punt here by the Titans. Excellent coverage that time by Keith Freeman, able to use the left hand to get in there and punch that ball away from Charlie Hamilton. Avoided the body contact and the penalty that time. Jonathan Rakujo, his 6th punt already today. Jarvis looking into that sun, will make the reception at the 28, up the middle of the field across the 35, out to the 37-yard line. 9-yard return for Alex Jarvis, the Indian Trail grad. So with 12:17 to go here in this third quarter, Carthage will take over at their own 37-yard line. Our game today is brought to you in part by Lynch Chevrolet of Kenosha on Highway 50 just east of I-94. It's their 10th anniversary, and you get the savings on any brand new or pre-used Chevy and dozens of pre-owned vehicles as well. LynchChevroletKenosha.com. First and 10 Firebirds at their own 37. Each team with a possession here to start this third quarter. Noel Wright up the middle, right with a hole across the 40, 45. Coughed up the ball. It's loose at midfield, but I think the Firebirds fell on it. One of the linemen able to track it down near the 47-yard line. They recovered that. Good job that time getting down the field. So count the first down. Carthage able to recover their own fumble at the 47, a gain of 10. Gonna be looking for that now. Titans down, they need a spark. They're gonna try and punch that ball out right with a room over the right side across midfield. Steps out of a tackle and out of bounds short of the Titan 45-yard line.
Right on the carry.
Another nice run by Wright over that right side. That zone blocking really effective here as he will come out now and Boston will come in now. Travis Boston Jr. with his first collegiate touchdown today.
For a gain of 6, it's second and 4.
It'll be 2nd and 4. Boston will come in as a tailback. Marquette, the tight end, lined up in a wing here left side along with Williamson. Now Marquette in motion. Low, fakes the handoff, comes back throwing. Outside catch is made by Jarvis. Struggles inside the 40 down to the 39-yard line. It's a 7-yard pickup and a first down for the Firebirds. Nicely done. Jarvis again open on that far side. 4 receptions now for Jarvis. Again, Boston stays in as the running back. Marquette in motion, the tight end, lines up to the right side. Jarvis lined up in a slot here near side, and the give is to Boston. Across the line of scrimmage, fights his way forward to the 35 before he is driven back there. Forward progress to the 35.
Boston on the carry.
Gain of about 4, set up a 2nd and 6. 10.5 minutes to go here in the third. Firebirds up 34-7. Into Titan territory here with their second possession of the second half. Jarvis in a slot near side along with Eddie L. Sylvere Campbell lined up single receiver far side. Out quickly, completes to Marquette, the tight end, rumbles inside the 20, cuts back to the 15, 10, 5, touchdown Firebirds! Clayton Marquette with the touchdown reception from 35 yards out, and it's 40-7 Firebirds. Bryce Lowe with 4 touchdown passes today.
Carthage 40, Illinois Wesleyan 7.
Collins for the extra point.
Collins set the point after
Snap, spot, kick is on the way, and the kick is good. We will step out. 5 minutes into our third quarter, Carthage scores again. It's 41-7 Firebirds on AM 1050 WLIP.
for Carthage.
5-play, 73-yard drive. Clayton Marquette, the 35-yard touchdown reception, his first of the year, and that's 4 touchdown passes this afternoon for Bryce Lowe. He's now over 300 yards passing on the day as the Collins kickoff goes through the end zone for the touchback. Titan ball at their own 25-yard line. Carthage now 400 yards of offense today. A season best for the Firebirds. Again, this Titan defense right at their average. They've been giving up 400 yards and 34 points per game, and they've given up 41 here today. Schindler will give it to Bully around the left side. Amit Bully picks his way back across the 25, may have gotten a yard. Carthage has done a great job shutting down the running game today. 16 carries for Bully, 37 yards, at less than 2.5 per carry for Bully, who came into this game with 327 yards, averaging better than 7 yards per carry. And again, a veteran offensive line. This offensive line individually, I should say collectively, 57 starts in 25 games, and the Carthage front five has done an outstanding job taking that away. Schindler now looking to pass with time. Over the middle, looking for Watson, makes the catch. Ball out, they'll rule it incomplete. Beautifully done. Tomzak broke that pass up as it got into Watson. He got a step on Tomzak and punched it out. Is that Tomzak or was it Foster?
Third down.
Both those players were there, and at the last second, the ball got punched out. Post route that time by Watson. Third down and 9. Titans 3 for 9 on third downs today. Schindler with an empty backfield. Now pressure on, throwing. It's behind Watson, incomplete. Wouldn't have been much of a gain. Zach Hale was right there immediately on the breakup for the Firebirds, and it's a second 3 and out of this third quarter for the Titans. Rakujo has had a busy afternoon. This is his 7th punt of the day. Jarvis standing at the 40-yard line. Will be looking into the sun here. High spiraling kick, fair catch signaled for and made by Jarvis at the 36-yard line. 38-yard punt, no return. Carthage ball at their own 36 with exactly 9 minutes to go in this third quarter. Today's game brought to you by Francetic Tax Services. Don't get frantic, get Francetic. Go to 262tax.com and find out how Francetic Tax Resolution has been helping everyday people resolve their tax problems. That's 262tax.com. Bryce Lowe back out there, a 300-yard day for Lowe, and he'll hand it off to Wright. Wright, big hole over the left side. Oh, he was one block away from breaking it all the way as he was tripped down just across the 45-yard line to the 47.
First and 10, Carthage from their own 47-yard
So
line.
a 11-yard pickup and a first down by Wright. Noel Wright today, 18 carries for 79 yards and a touchdown. Marquette, who caught that touchdown, the tight end, lines up as a wing right side. Again, they'll give it to Wright. Again, he stumbled. Not sure if he, again, got tripped up by Lowe or if the turf monster got him that time. So no gain, second down and 10. Marquette will come out at a tight end. They'll bring Jordan Wiles back in. Wiles will line up as the third receiver to the right side. L, Jarvis, and Wiles there, the three receivers to the right. Sylvia Campbell, the single receiver to the near side. Long count by Lowe. He'll give it to Wright. Wright getting a nice block here on the edge. Gets it to the 50 and is pulled down at the 49 of the Titans.
Gain of 2.
Holding, offense number 64.
Drew Neville holding here on this near side, and he will be the guilty party. That's the second holding call on Neville today. Neville, who 2019 graded out as the top offensive lineman for Carthage as a sophomore. He had a 94.6 grading at left tackle for the Firebirds.
Penalty was holding against Carthage.
So moves the football back to the Carthage 37-yard line. 7.5 minutes to play, third quarter. Carthage up 41-7. Second and 21. Lowe will give it to Wright. And Wright, nowhere to go. Got to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Good surge by the defense there. Caleb Robinson able to finish him off. No gain, brings up third and 21 for the Firebirds.
Brings up third down. Third and 21 Carthage.
Travis Boston back out there now. Play clock down to 15. Again, Carthage will go with that trips to the right side. Jarvis in the slot. Near side is Sylvia Campbell. Lowe with time, comes back looking for Campbell, just a little bit high and incomplete at midfield. Would have been short of the first down, but it's just a little out of his reach as he was defended well on the play here on the near side by Maddox Swanstrom. So Collins will punt. 2 punts today, a 41-yard average for Collins. Woodson is the deep man this time, and Collins gets off a knuckling punt. Woodson will let it bounce near the 20-yard line and will bounce out of bounds right around the 25. Let's see where they mark it. At the 25. So Titans take over, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Exactly 6.5 minutes to go here in the third, but Carthage up 41-7.
Wesleyan takes over, 1st and 10.
Trying to snap a 5-game skid here at the hands of the Titans. And we've got a new quarterback out there for the Titans. Ryan Sachs, a freshman. His first appearance, and he's going to keep it, and Sachs is going to get a yard. That's about it. I don't know if there was a problem with the exchange going to Bully. So Schindler benched, and it's Sachs out there now. 6 foot, 175, a freshman out of Palatine and Fremd High School. His first appearance of the year. 2nd down and 9 from their own 26. Watson goes in motion to the left. They'll run the jet sweep to Watson, left side. He's got an edge across the 35 and out of bounds near the 40-yard line. They'll mark him out officially at the 41. It's a gain of 15 and a first down. Play worked today. They tried it earlier, and Jalen Dennis was there to chop it down. This time they go the opposite way, and Watson able to grind out 16 yards and a first down to the 41. Hamid Bully, the single back. 2 receivers here to the near side for the Titans. All just across their own 40-yard line on first down. Again, draw play here by the quarterback, Sachs, and he's going to be wrapped up just across the line of scrimmage. Getting there for the Firebirds was Chris DeVito. DeVito coming into this game, 10 tackles last week against Elmhurst, 14 on the season entering the game today. He led the team in tackles in that first half. 2nd down and 8 now for the Titans at their own 43. Bring a receiver in motion, Charlie Hamilton. He'll line up in a slot near side, along with Watson. And again, in the play fake. And again, it's the quarterback, Sachs, running around the left side. Sachs out across midfield. Ball came out, but they rule him down as he was tackled by Zach Hale just across the Carthage 45-yard line. So a little bit of a spark here by Ryan Sachs, the quarterback. Quarterback change here and trying to change their fortunes here. Two backs in the backfield here. They'll give it to Bully. Bully over the left side, gets to the 40-yard line, is stacked up by the Carthage defense there. Gain of about 4 on the play. Sets up a 2nd down and 6. Three and a half minutes to go here in the 3rd. Carthage up 41-7. Titans with the ball in Carthage territory, and again it's going to be Sachs, and again Sachs gets across the line of scrimmage past Jalen Dennis, but takes a beating as he got to the 34-yard line of Carthage. Boy, he really took a shot on the stop that time. Dennis had him lined up and just missed him right at the line of scrimmage. And as he got across the line, Tomczak was able to nail him. Under 3 minutes to go here in the 3rd. Titans with their best drive since their touchdown drive. Midway through the 2nd quarter, they're at the Carthage 34. Firebirds showing blitz, and Sachs will keep it again, and again takes a hit across the 30 at the Carthage 26-yard line. Sachs now 4 carries for 21 yards, better than 5 yards per carry.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
So 2nd and 3 from the Carthage 26 late here in the 3rd. Carthage up 41-7. Now movement. What do we got here? Were they drawn off?
Before the snap, encroachment, defense number 98, 5-yard penalty, results in a 1st down.
Got to stay disciplined. Hayden Fisher, inside defender, jumped the line that time. Gives the Titans a 1st down here.
The penalty results in a 1st down, 1st and 10.
Peyton Gerberding back in now as a wide receiver. He came in off the sideline. He will line up with Hamilton to the far side. Wes Watson here to the near side. Hamid Bully, the single back to the left of the quarterback, Sachs. And late pullback by Sachs, and he's going to be buried back near the 26-yard line. Zach Hale gets the tackle for a loss, back to the 26-yard line. Cox also there. Boy, Oliver Cox making his 1st start for the Firebirds. Jalen Slater, the normal starter at that defensive end position, out with an arm injury, so he has made the most today. We'll be talking with Dustin Haas following the game today, along with a Carthage player. They'll be coming up in our post game, immediately following the broadcast here today. Sachs rolling left. Dennis nearly got him. Ball up for grabs. Intercepted by Freeman down the near sideline. He will go. This will be an 80-yard interception return for a touchdown. Keith Freeman on the pick, but credit Jalen Dennis on the blitz. Got to Sachs as he threw the football. It was a wounded duck, and Freeman took it home for the score. First pick of the season for Keith Freeman, and it's a pick 6. 76 yards, exclamation point at Art Keller Field. Collins for the extra point. It is up, and it is good. The defense getting into the act here. Special teams earlier with the fake punt. And now the defense, a 76-yard interception return. One more look as we watch the replay here. Dennis off the edge, got to sacks. He threw up a wounded duck right side. At the 24-yard line, Freeman made the pick, took it down the near sideline clean for the pick six. Lottery time here at Art Keller Field. That'll be one of the many things we'll be talking with Dustin Haas about Monday night, part of the Carthage Athletics Insider presented by Mobile One Communications. That'll be this Monday night at Mason's Pub and Eatery from 7 to 9, live here on 1050 WLIP. Dustin Haas, a couple of football players, along with Leanne Ulmer, women's volleyball coach, Ian Wilson, the women's soccer coach, Randy Johnson, the women's golf coach. We'll be talking all kinds of Carthage athletics live and in person at Mason's Eatery and Pub Monday night from 7 to 9 here on AM 1050 WLIP. Really looking forward to that. Albin will take it at his own 5. Tries to cut back at the 15, and he is drilled there. Special teams getting down. Mutterer getting down there on special teams for Carthage, number 26. So it'll be Titan ball at their own 20-yard line, 48 seconds to go in the half. 48-7 Firebirds. Been a long time. You go back here, the 35-6 and 20 is jumping the Firebirds here at home, but those previous 4 matchups before that were decided by a total of 9 points. As Schindler comes up throwing, penalty marker thrown near the line of scrimmage. Is that pass intended for Watson? Broken up on the play by Jake Tomzak.
Holding, offense number 64. It's a 10-yard penalty, replay first down.
Left guard Jacob Finfer, guilty of the hold, moves it back to the 10-yard line. Well, the Titans are staring at an 0-3 start and an 0-2 start in conference. Meanwhile, Wheaton was drumming up North Park. North Central jumping all over Augustana, so the leaders pulling away. Schindler back in there at quarterback. And he will hand it off.
Mayer on the carry.
And it's Mayer on the carry.
Brought down by Martin.
Andrews Martin there to make the stop. Anthony Martin, I should say, making the stop at linebacker. Final 15 seconds here of this third quarter. They'll get one more playoff here. It's going to be a pass. Schindler going over the middle, complete to the tight end, out to the 40-yard line. Zach Tenza able to make, it's Brennan Weir, the tight end, who made that catch, and that will end our third quarter. So the Titans with good field position to start the fourth. They'll be at their own 42 when we return. 48-7 Carthage Firebirds on top of Illinois Wesleyan. Back after this on AM 1050 WLIP.
Other scores around the CCIW midway through the third quarter. Wheaton 48, North Park 13. Final minutes of the first half, Elmhurst 7, Wash U 3. Midway through Central 20, Augustana 6. Fans, we would like to give a special shout out to the students and staff attending today from Shepherd's College. Thank you for supporting your Carthage Firebirds.
Well, the first play from scrimmage here in the fourth quarter results in a touchdown as Sage Schindler able to hit Charlie Hamilton for the touchdown pass. 58 yards, cuts the deficit to 48-13. Simply tossed it over the middle, had just enough time to get the pass away that time. So he started to climb the pocket and got it away. So Schindler with his second touchdown pass of the game. Staying to attempt the extra point. Ball down, kick on the way. It is up and it is good. 48-14. Early moments of our fourth quarter. Carthage on top of Illinois Wesleyan. And the Firebirds will travel to Milliken next Saturday down in Decatur, a 1 o'clock kick. Meanwhile, Illinois Wesleyan will return home, taking on Elmhurst next Saturday. Hamilton is fourth touchdown of the season. Schindler now with 7 touchdown passes on the year.
Jarvis and L deep for the Firebirds.
Eddie L. III standing deep along with Kenosha product Alex Jarvis. There you look at the Carthage schedule. Milliken next week, then it's home against North Central. That'll be a noon kickoff on October 9th. And then North Park, homecoming, October 16th. Looking forward to that. Hall of Fame ceremony that weekend for the Athletic Hall of Fame here at Carthage. Looking forward to that. Lots going on here. Stang will kick it away to Jarvis at his own 5. Alex Jarvis up the middle, across the 20. Jarvis finds a hole to the 30. 35-40, far sideline midfield, has the kicker to beat, and does. Down the far sideline goes Jarvis. He will take it inside the 10, 5, touchdown Carthage. Alex Jarvis, 95 yards. Atta baby. The Kenosha Indian Trail product goes 95 yards on the kickoff return for the touchdown. Everything clicking today for the Firebirds.
Collins set for the point after try. Failing to hold.
The kick by Collins is up, and it is good.
The point after try is good with 14.
They hang double nickels on Illinois Wesleyan here today. 55-14, Carthage. And we look at the replay again. He got to the middle of the field. Had just one player to beat as the lanes broke down. Poor coverage by the Titan special teams. There'll be a lot of wailing and grinding of teeth on that 4-hour bus ride back to Bloomington tonight.
Collins set to kick for Carthage. Alvin and Woodson deep for Illinois Wesleyan.
Wesleyan getting the touchdown, thinking they might be on a comeback, but Alex Jarvis with the 95-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Special teams with a score today. The defense with a interception return for a touchdown. And unfortunately, this kickoff goes out of bounds by Collins. And so the Titans will get good field position here on the kick going out.
Illegal kick out of bounds on the kicking team. Ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
That should make for an interesting game next weekend down in Decatur for Carthage here against Milliken. They beat Milliken here in the spring. Milliken predicted ahead of Carthage by the coaches this year. And Carthage tabbed for 6th, Milliken picked for 5th, and the coaches did. And Carthage will be focused on that, but they're enjoying this one here this afternoon, up 55-14 against the Titans. They'll run a little jet sweep again this time. They'll give it to Gerberding around the right side, and Gerberding diving across the 40 out to the 41-yard line. Gain of about 6 by Gerberding. Had some success with that jet sweep look. Penny and Stronach in there now. Renee out there. Cox still out there. Again, they're short a couple of linemen. Slater out. John Ambrosio out today as well up front. So not much of a rotation today. Schindler with time looking to throw back over the middle. Man is there. Catch is made inside the 25 down to the 21-yard line. It's Charlie Hamilton. He's been the bright spot today. That's his 5th catch now over 100 yards today for Charlie Hamilton, as he was able to beat the linebacker there for Carthage, Avanta James. James, the junior out of Horlick High School. Horlick, a big win last night over Park, 27-0. High school football last night, just north of us in Racine. Gain of 38, 1st and 10. They'll pitch it outside. Elbin coming down the near sideline, and he is pushed out of bounds short of the pylon. Check that, Anthony Mare.
Schindler's pass complete to Bear for a Titan first down.
And they'll mark it at the 1, 1st and goal for the Titans. We're a minute and a half into the 4th quarter, and we've already had 14 points scored. Schindler will line them up. Give it to Mary. Steps out of a tackle in the backfield, dives forward, got back to the line of scrimmage, the 1-yard line. There to finish him up, Trey Mitchell for Carthage, freshman, and Williams also there for Carthage, Tommy Williams. Second and goal from the 1. Both tight ends over to the right side now, unbalanced to the right. They'll hand it off, running it up the middle. Zone touchdown, Illinois Wesleyan. Mayer with the carry from 1 yard out. It's their first rushing touchdown this afternoon. And it's 55-20 in favor of the Firebirds.
Staying set for the point after try, Robinson to hold.
Staying for the extra point. It is up and it is good. That caps off a 5-play, 65-yard drive. Charlie Hamilton with that 38-yard catch down to the Carthage 21. Mayer with the 19-yard pass completion to the 1, and 2 plays later, Mayer going over from 1 yard out. So the 21 points scored here in the first 3.5 minutes of this fourth quarter. 14 by the Titans and 7 by Carthage. Scoring in bunches. Mare from 1 yard out.
Staying set to kick for the Titans.
See if the Titans go onside here. Jarvis had the 95-yard kickoff return the last time Titans scored here just a couple of minutes ago. Don't think they'll kick to him. Well, they will, but it'll get in the end zone, bounce through for the touchback. Carthage ball at their own 25-yard line. What's happening in the CCIW this afternoon, you ask? Well, John Voinovich is going to post that up here in just a minute. Get caught up on all the scores here. There we go. Wheaton. They woke up. It was a 14-13 game going into the second quarter, but they've hung 55 on North Park. It's 55-13 Thunder. North Central 34-6 over Augustana. Elmhurst a 7-3 lead at the half over Wash U. Later tonight, Milliken hosts Carroll. New quarterback in there now for the Firebirds.
Boston on the carry.
Boston takes the carry.
Gain of 3.
As coming in now is Christian Beltran, who had been the starter the first 2 games. Bryce Lowe today, what a collegiate start. His first collegiate start, 16 of 24, 301 yards and 4 touchdowns today for Lowe. This is Christian Beltran out of Katy, Texas. Beltran, 2 starts, 15 of 31, 91 yards at 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Going to throw here, comes out quickly near side, catch is made and out of bounds with it.
Beltran's pass complete to Groves.
Gibson Groves with the reception.
Carthage, first down.
His first catch today, Groves from nearby Johnsburg, Illinois, 6'3", 190-pound junior. It's his first reception of the season. Results in a first down out to the 35-yard line. 11 minutes to go in the game, 55-21 Carthage. Showing blitz, they'll hand it off. Boston ran right into that spot where the blitzing linebacker was coming. The ball came out, but after the play was whistled dead. No gain, brings up 2nd and 10 for the Firebirds. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting matchup next Saturday down in Decatur with Milliken. Kind of hungry. Milliken lost to Greenville in the non-conference. Don't see that happening too much. A CCIW team dropping a game to a St. Louis conference opponent, but that's what happened. Kind of a wake-up call for the Big Blue. Now Carthage will take the timeout. A little confusion on the formation as we've got some new bodies in there now. You got Milutinovic now at left tackle. We've got Chris Sandoval-Terry out there. Ryan Lakin, Ryan Scotty out there. So you've got some of your 2s and 3s out there this afternoon now in mop-up duty. Hey, our game today brought to you in part by Harbor Park Health and Fitness. Harbor Park Health and Fitness, 3417 14th Avenue in Kenosha. That's just a mile south of the Carthage campus. And by Mason's Eatery and Pub on Highway 50, just west of Highway 31 in Kenosha. Big thank you to Mason's today. They supplied the team meal for breakfast this morning. Breakfast burritos and hash browns and fruit, and boy, it was delicious. I want to thank the folks at Mason's and remind you to join us at Mason's this Monday night from 7 until 9, a live broadcast here on 1050 WLIP, the Carthage Athletics Insider, brought to you by Mobile One Communication. That's this Monday night, 7 to 9 over at Mason's Pub. Live broadcast, coaches, players, talking Carthage Athletics Monday night at Mason's. Beltran will hand it off. Boston not much there as he was wrapped up immediately. Got back to the line of scrimmage, may have gotten a yard, and that's about it.
Boston on the carry, no gain on the play, brings up 3rd and 10.
Making the stop for the Titans was Nicholas DiGregorio. Sack today for DiGregorio, 1 of 2 today on Carthage quarterbacks. Beltran working from the pistol here on 3rd and 9. Boston in the backfield, 2 receivers to the left. From the 36, takes the snap. Beltran scanning the field, protection breaks down, and he'll be sacked. Back at the 29-yard line, Di Gregorio with his 2nd sack today. Not much doing that time, and again, new offensive line out there, as I mentioned. So David Collins on to punt, just the 4th time today, averaging just a shade over 4 yards per kick today. Check that, that's not going to be Collins. That'll be the Grassman, his first punt today.
For the Titans.
He gets off an end-over-end punt that will bounce. Woodson will pick it up in traffic and gets it out to the 30-yard line. Boy, he nearly coughed it up as the Gunners got down there, and Zach Hale on special teams able to get down and wrap him up. But there were 2 Carthage players there, both the gunner here on the near side and one of the linemen getting down there. That was Chris DeVito who got down there first as the ball hit the turf, and Woodson was looking, nearly got caught looking at DeVito coming down on him. 8.5 to play, 55-21 Carthage. Titan ball at their own 30-yard line. They will hand it off, and this is Albin coming around the near side across the 40 and knifed out of bounds at the 41. 11-yard pickup on the carry by Albin. That is his first carry today. Seth Albin, 38 yards this season, 2 touchdowns, both coming last week against Carroll. 1st and 10 at the 41. Schindler play fake with time, looks to throw, coming back left side, and a remarkable catch at the Carthage 35. Good defensive presence, but Charlie Hamilton able to haul that one in with the defensive back all over him. Ethan Foster, pretty good coverage that time, and credit Schindler for throwing a pretty good ball, put it in a spot where only Hamilton could get it. That's the 6th reception by Hamilton today. He's over 100 yards receiving. Three receivers to the right. Now they break that off as they move Hamilton over to the left side. They'll roll the tight end to the right. So a slot receiver on that right side. Play fake, they get it out, but it's incomplete. Good pressure up front for Carthage. Providing the push up front was Joe Asta, freshman. He got there first and forced that back. Check that, Levi Reed with that pressure that time. Play fake, again they swing it out, bubble screen, complete far side, catch is made by Gerberding inside the Carthage 20 to the 19. Little bubble screen to the right that time, and they had it executed perfectly as they cut off both the nickel and the 2 other defensive backs on that far side and got it down to the 20-yard line. Gain of 13 by Peyton Gerberding. Schindler now 15 of 28, 245 yards, 2 touchdowns today. Under 7 minutes to play, 55-21 Carthage. Schindler dropping back. Now protection breaks down. Still got it away. Catch is made at the 5 and into the end zone for the touchdown. Charlie Hamilton, his 2nd touchdown reception of the day, and we've got penalty markers in the end zone. And now a helmet off, or I should say a hat thrown off. Looks like a Titan player picked up another foul as well. Not what you want to see here at the end of this ball game.
After the play, there were fouls on both teams. Unsportsmanlike conduct on the defense, number 57. Unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense, number 9. Those fouls will offset. The result of the play is a touchdown.
Austin Kavanaugh for Carthage and Sage Schindler, the quarterback, picking up their first unsportsmanlike conduct penalties today.
Staying to try.
The extra point attempt by Stang. Ball is down, kick is up, and it is good. 55-28, Firebirds with 6:41 to play. That was a 4-play, 50-yard drive. A couple of big plays on that drive. Gerberding's 13-yard catch, and then a 20-yard touchdown pass from Schindler to Charlie Hamilton. Hamilton today, 6 receptions, 141 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The standings now. Carroll playing tonight at Milliken, but North Central, Carroll, Carthage, Milliken, and WashU all at 1-0. Augie, Wheaton, Elmhurst, Illinois, Wesleyan, and North Park all looking for their first conference win. And to go down 0-2 early in this league is hard to come by. Again, only 4 spots available for at-large teams in the football playoff chase. Got to win your conference to get in. Titans setting up an onside kick here by Andrew Stang. Oh, it went through the hands of the Carthage player and picked up by Hamilton here on the near sideline. The onside kick executed perfectly there.
Stag's kick is recovered by Hamilton.
Chris DeVito had a chance here up front to make a play on the football, but it went through his hands right into the hands of Hamilton. And the Titans get the ball back here with 6:38 to play, but down 27. Hamilton will line up here to the near side. They'll get press coverage here. Play fake by Schindler, climbing the pocket, looking for Hamilton. Hamilton with a push off and no flag as he was defended by Ethan Foster. Hand-to-hand combat down the near numerals inside the 20 between Foster and Hamilton. Second and 10 upcoming here for the Titans from their own 48-yard line after recovering the onside kick. They'll throw it again, coming back the near sideline, over the shoulder catch, and out of bounds at the 15-yard line. Zach Tenza.
Schindler's pass is complete to Tenza.
Tenza, that's his first reception of the ball game. It'll mark it at the 14-yard line, 1st and 10 Titans.
14.
Potoff here to the near side as a single receiver. Hamilton lined up in a slot right with Potoff now in motion. Watch for that jet sweep action. They do. Carthage was ready for it. They'll wrap him up back near the 16-yard line.
Potoff on the carry.
Good job by Kyle Freimar.
No gain on the play. Brings up second
Defensively in
and
there now for Carthage. Stayed home. They've run that jet sweep about 3 or 4 times today. Had some success with it. Clock running, 5:25 to play, 55-28 Carthage. Titans in the red zone again at the 14-yard line. 2nd and 10, play fake. Schindler looking to throw, has a man out there. Hamilton makes the catch, touchdown. Back corner of the end zone. Charlie Hamilton, his 3rd touchdown reception of the day. The 4th touchdown pass thrown by Schindler today. And the Titans not going away. 55-34. Extra point pending. They go with that swinging gate formation on the extra point. 4 plays, 52 yards. Schindler to Charlie Hamilton, his 3rd touchdown reception of the day. Stang's kick is on the way, and it is good. 55-35, Carthage in front. Each team over 400 yards of offense today. And again, just one-on-one coverage back there. Able to beat the corner on that far side. And watch for another onside kick here by the Titans. Got to do a better job covering that up. Again, DeVito on that last kick had a chance. It just kind of bounced up and he was trying to go for it. I think he saw Hamilton coming at him and took his eye off the football. See what they line up here. They've got Jake Tomzak up front here. Gibson Groves, a receiver up front. They'll try it to the left side, and that one did not go the necessary distance. They may have been offside too on the kickoff.
Offsides on the kicking team, number 82. It's a 5-yard penalty, re-kick.
Zach Tenza jumped the gun just a little bit. They'll move it back to the 30-yard line, and again they'll come to the near hash mark to attempt that left to right onside kick once again. What Carthage needs to do here is just make sure they get it. Let's tuck this one in bed. Just over 5 minutes remaining here. Carthage up at one point, 55-14 today. 21 unanswered here in the 4th quarter by Illinois Wesleyan.
The kicking team touched the ball before it went 10 yards. It'll be Carthage ball at that spot.
There we go. That's what the officials were huddling up and talking about. And I thought they had touched it before it went the necessary 10 yards. And I think that's what Dustin Haas wanted the officials to get straight. Carthage will take over. They mark it here at the 35. No, back out toward the 45-yard line is where they will put it.
Carthage takes over.
Bryce Lowe will come back in now. We saw Beltran for one series here in this second half. Bryce Lowe, 16 of 24, 301 yards, and 4 touchdown passes today. He will hand it off. Boston up the middle. Fights his way forward to about the 41-yard line, a gain of 3.
Right on the carry.
Check that was Wright. Noel Wright. Now 21 carries for 82 yards today, plus a touchdown. Stay tuned for the postgame. We will have Dustin Haas and a Carthage player up here in the booth. We'll also announce our Harbor Park Health and Fitness Carthage Player of the Game today. A couple of candidates. Marquette, the tight end, rolls to the left, lines up in a wing left side. Wright with the carry. Wright able to get outside here to the 35-30. Needs a block, gets it inside the 25, down to the 24-yard line. Good run over the right side that time by Noel Wright. Getting a nice block here on the near side by Jason Aguilar. Clock rolling, under 4 minutes to play. Watch it here. Right there at that point of attack, and the tight end, Marquette, doing a nice job as well. Able to take the end and turn him completely around. 1st and 10 Carthage at the Titan 35. Again, they'll give to Wright. Again, Wright with a strong run right side, taking a couple of tacklers down to the 21-yard line for a gain of 3.
Right on the carry. Gain of 4. It's second
Officially a
and 6.
gain of 4, 2nd down and 6. Substitutions now. Kyle Williamson back in. Also Sylvia Campbell in. He replaced Cole Verselli today. Verselli out with a hamstring injury, and all Campbell did today was catch 7 passes, 148 yards, and a 60-yard touchdown reception today for Campbell. 2nd and 6 from the 21. Boston up the middle to the 15. Close to another Carthage first down and a chance to close the door completely.
Gain of 5 brings up 3rd down.
See where they mark it, just shy of the first down yardage. It'll be 3rd and 1. So 3rd and about a yard here. They need to get it across the 15 for the first down. Lowe taking the clock down to 7 seconds here. Game clock to 2 minutes. Boston with the carry. Boston with the first down. Breaks a tackle inside the 10. Takes a pile with them. Moving it to the 5 before he is stopped and driven back. Nicely done by Travis Boston Jr., who had a touchdown earlier today. Picks up the first down, and that, my friends, is a mic drop, and roll the credits. So a nice win for the Firebirds here in their home opener today.
Carthage from the 7-yard line.
Dustin Haas is going to call off the Dogs. Minute 45 and counting remaining here. Carthage taking the play clock down. It's 17 right now. Lowe will hand it off to Boston. Fights his way inside the 5 with 1:20 to go. Carthage to 2-0, 2-1 on the season. Back-to-back wins for the Firebirds. Titans now really in a scramble. They're 0-3, 0-2 in the league, and they go home to take on Elmhurst next week in their homecoming game. Carthage rolling up 442 yards today and 55 points, the most given up by the Titans this year. One more snap here for Bryce Lowe. They'll give it to Boston. Boston around the left side. Boston in for the touchdown. Atta baby. Hang a 60 on the Titans today. 61-35 Firebirds. Rassman to attempt the extra point. This one is up, and this one is good. 62-35 Firebirds. One more look as we get the replay here. Kind of a high handoff, but Boston, his second touchdown run of the day. So after recovering the illegal touching of that onside kick, Carthage goes on a 7-play, 41-yard drive. Travis Boston Jr., his second touchdown run of the day. Bryce Lowe, 16 of 24 today. Noel Wright a yard shy of 100 on the day. Trying to go back-to-back 100-yard rushing. Kick that will bounce in the middle of the field and will be covered up at the 20-yard line. So Carthage will end a 5-game losing skid to the Titans. We'll get to 2-0 in the conference. 2-1 overall, and we'll head to Decatur next Saturday for a 1 o'clock kick against the Milliken Big Blue. We will have the broadcast for you next Saturday at 12:45. They will hand it off. One more play here, and that will wrap it up here from Art Keller Field. By far, Carthage's largest offensive output in quite some time. Down to the final 3 seconds, 2 seconds. They'll get one final snap in. One more run, and that'll do it. Carthage to 2-0. As they defeat the Illinois Wesleyan Titans today by a final of 62-35. And they get a standing ovation here on this near sideline from the Carthage faithful here today in their first home game in the autumn in nearly 2 years. And the dispatch of the Titans today by a final of 62-35. Stay tuned for our post-game report coming your way next. A visit with head coach Dustin Haas and a player will all come up following this 2-minute break. You're listening to Carthage Football on AM 1050 WLIP. I'm here, you got me? All right, we're trying to hook all. That's fine, that's good. Yeah, I saw that. How about in this series with Illinois Wesleyan? Is that the most we've ever scored? Carthage Firebird football on AM 1050, brought to you today by Harbor Park Health and Fitness, by Mason's Pub and Eatery, Francetic Tax Services, by Lynch Chevrolet of Kenosha, and by Triangle Flooring Furniture and Appliance Center. John Weiser back with you from Art Keller Field in Kenosha, where this afternoon the Carthage Firebirds open up the home portion of their schedule big time today as they defeat Illinois Wesleyan 62-35. The 62 points, the most scored by Carthage since September 29th, 2018, when Carthage defeated Elmhurst 63-7. And I gotta say, that's the most points scored against Illinois Wesleyan in quite some time here by a Carthage team. Trying to track that down. That might have to go back to the Art Keller days of Carthage football. Even then, most of those games were very, very close. But Carthage rolling up 458 yards today on 61 plays. And it was the coming out party, I guess you could say officially now, for freshman quarterback Bryce Lowe, making his first collegiate start of the year. Came in relief last week against Elmhurst, did a terrific job, and today as the starter, picked up right where he left off. 16 of 24 for 301 yards and 4 touchdown passes today. And what's nice about this, they were to 4 different receivers: Sylvere Campbell, Alex Jarvis, Clayton Markek, and Eddie L. III, all with touchdown receptions today for the Carthage Firebirds. Travis Boston Jr. with a pair of touchdown runs. Noel Wright with a touchdown run today. Wright with 99 yards rushing today. And the Carthage, a little bit of a hiccup in that fourth quarter. Illinois Wesleyan coming back as we are showing replays here on our video stream. Some of the scoring highlights today was Noel Wright doing a nice job blocking there as Bryce Lowe able to get that pass to Eddie L. L with 2 receptions today. Going over the middle, catching that touchdown pass. And then the big one here, Sylvere Campbell over the middle of the field, a leaping grab, got behind the secondary and off to the races down the far sideline for the 60-yard touchdown reception. Campbell today, 7 receptions, 148 yards, and that 60-yard touchdown grab. Alex Jarvis with a big grab of 42 yards and a touchdown reception. Right, getting a touchdown run today. That ended the second quarter. Carthage had a 34-7 lead at the half. And then all of the scoring by Carthage in the third quarter. Markek, that 35-yard touchdown reception. Then the defense went to work. Good pressure by Jalen Dennis, and then it was Keith Freeman, 76-yard interception return for a touchdown. And Carthage up 48-7 at that point. Illinois Wesleyan would score on the first play of the fourth quarter on a leaping grab by Hamilton. Charlie Hamilton, 58-yard touchdown. That made it 48-14. Then on the ensuing kickoff, Alex Jarvis caught the ball near hash at the 5-yard line, scrambled to his left, broke containment to the outside, and when he reached midfield, he was gone. 95-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. At that point, 55-14 in favor of the Firebirds. But Wesleyan would add 21 unanswered. Mare, a 1-yard touchdown run, capping off a 5-play, 65-yard drive. Then Charlie Hamilton coming back again. This time from Schindler, a 20-yard touchdown pass. That coming after the onside kick recovery, a 5-play, 70-yard drive capped off by Hamilton's 20-yard return. And then Hamilton again on a 14-yard pass from Schindler to the back corner of the end zone. Made a leaping grab there. That cut the deficit to 55-35. Suddenly you're thinking, uh-oh, could this snowball out of control? But no, Carthage regained control. It was Boston, his second touchdown run of the game in the final seconds here, handing a 62 spot on Illinois Wesleyan as Carthage wins it by a score of 62 235. We mentioned Carthage, 458 yards of offense today, and 340 in the air, 118 on the ground. Individually for Carthage, Bryce Lowe, as we mentioned, 16 of 24, 301 yards, 4 touchdowns. His 60-yard touchdown pass to Sylvia Campbell, the long one of the game for him. Noel Wright, 23 carries for 99 yards and a touchdown today. Travis Boston, 9 carries, 29 yards and 2 touchdowns. On the receiving end, Campbell today targeted 10 times, 7 receptions, 148 yards, 1 touchdown today. Alex Jarvis, 6 targets, 3 catches, 75 yards and a touchdown, plus the 95-yard kickoff return. Clayton Marquette, 2 receptions for 42. Eddie L., 2 catches, including a 20-yard touchdown reception. Special teams scoring, defense scoring today, the interception returned by Keith Freeman today. All in all, everything going Carthage way today, as we are joined now by Dustin Haas, head football coach here at Carthage. And well, you talked about getting off to a quick start today, and how?
We did. We played well right from the jump. We had a little extra motivation from Coach Ash. He told the paper this morning that they were going to get off to the same kind of start they did in 2019, and we kind of flipped the script a little bit on them, and our guys played really well right from the start.
Thanks to the internet, huh?
You got that right.
Check all those things out online. You can read the papers and check those out.
No doubt.
I'm sure that was shared with the rest of the coaches in the team meeting today.
It was. We talked about it right before we took the field. It fired us up a little bit, and you could see the result.
Excellent day today for Bryce Lowe. We're going to talk with him in just a minute, but wow. What a game. And I mean, first collegiate start, the man steps in and throws 4 touchdown passes, goes over 300 yards today.
He continued right where he left off last week. He came in and late in the second quarter there against Elmhurst, played really, really well and just kept it rolling. He did a great job for us.
Key moment today came early, the fake punt. Talk about that.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a gutsy call because we hadn't seen what they had done yet on the punt return team, but from film, stuff like that, we figured they were going to bring everybody, and so we went through it, and Zach did a great job of slipping out. David made a great pass, and obviously a huge play for us.
I thought he hit Hale right in stride over midfield. I mean, if he let him just a little bit more, that might have been 6 on that play.
We'll make sure we let David know he's got to improve his accuracy and let Zach know he's got to improve his juke moves in the open field a little bit.
But nicely done there, and then he really took control of the ball game. I mean, that first half really dug them a hole. A little scare there in the fourth quarter, but you guys, again, 2s and 3s out there, so you've got guys out there playing that probably not used to being part of that moment.
Yeah, no doubt. We had a lot of things go right, and like you said, we went deep into the bench there for that one, got a lot of guys some playing time, which they needed. Obviously, Wesleyan did not, and, it was a good experience for our guys to go against another team's starters. They can kind of see the speed of the game a little bit different than some of those JV games they've been playing in.
Thought you did a good job, at least through the first 3 quarters today, with your 1s out there and defensively, and particularly that nice pick. I'll tell you what, it won't show up in the stats, but Jalen Dennis on that pressure off the edge forced that interception, and Freeman caught that wounded duck and knew what to do with it down the near sideline.
There's no doubt. I thought the defense, like you said, those starters played really, really well for the first 3 quarters, and they earned the ability to get off the field a little bit and give those other guys some time. I don't have the stats in front of me, but I bet you take that fourth quarter out, and it was a pretty good domination by those guys.
Well, and I was looking here. You had, as far as tackles today, I don't know if I've got the right stat up here, but just to see who led them. But I thought this young man right here, Oliver Cox, pressed into starting duty here today, came up with 6 total tackles, a TFL, and for a total of 12 yards on that.
On the sack, yeah, he did some good things. He plays extremely hard. He's a good-sized body for us that came in and played well.
Next man up is the mentality, correct? I mean, you had a couple of key guys out today. Culver-Selly was out. Sylvia Campbell stepped in.
He had a huge day. We knew he was talented, and part of the thing with freshmen is how fast can they learn it. And it took him a little bit, but he's getting there and had a huge day.
When you put together a highlight tape of 2021, that 60-yard touchdown catch has got to be on it. You talk about a leaping grab behind the defender in midair, This guy hit it on time.
It was a great throw, great catch, great read. We talked about it. They like to play that 2 read on the edge, and the corner jumped the out. Bryce did a good job of knowing where to go, made a great throw, and like you said, a great catch by Veer, and obviously he could roll after that.
Let's bring in Mr. Lowe here, the freshman from Florida. Congratulations on a great game here today.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
What was going through your mind here? You knew all week you were going to be the starter. Were there some little butterflies, or did you handle this all week with, I got this?
I mean, I'm always nervous before every game, but like just the game prep and like watching all the film, like I knew like what they were going to give us, and just going through practice all week, I knew what I had to do to get it done.
What impressed me, particularly early today, your throws were on time. I mean, they were spot on. You hit guys right where you needed to hit. I was watching you warm up today, and I'm thinking to myself, if he carries over what he's doing in warm-ups today, Titans are in trouble.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All throughout like practice, we always do routes on there with the wide receivers. So just getting the timing down with every wide receiver, just not even the starters, just knowing who you're throwing to, like you know who how fast you have to get the ball out.
Talk about preparation, game preparation during the week. What specifically do the quarterbacks do? What does that quarterback room look like in prepping starting on Monday leading up to a game?
So on Monday, we just kind of have a team meeting just of the previous week, and maybe we'll watch a little film with Coach P just like individually. Then on Tuesday, we'll start with the scouting report, and that's when we really start going to watch film. So it's just mainly just a lot of watching film with Coach P, him going over the game plan, him just putting us in different situations and saying if this is a down and distance, expect this. So just getting to know that, and then it just gives us like a bunch of little sheets that are really helpful because when you're in this formation that the defense is going to give this. So that's really how we prepare.
So you're looking at tendencies, you're looking
Yes.
at the base, you're looking at, okay, now what if they put 5 up front? And
Yes,
what
sir.
if they walk 2 linebackers up? What are you going to do? Is there like a
Yes,
little
sir.
quiz that goes on Friday and
There
they'll walk
is,
through?
yes. There's a quiz, and then we just know based off of like you said, if 2 linebackers walk down, we know what we have to check the play to. So that's like another thing that we go over during film.
Helps to have big
Yes.
receivers where you can put the ball where they can catch it. I mean, you got Sylvier at 6'2", you've got a couple of 6-foot receivers out there that can catch it. And then you got Jarvis, who's not afraid to go into those gaps there between the linebackers and safeties to pick one out.
Yes, sir. It's nice. Now I know. I mean, since the beginning, I know I can trust them. But actually, like playing games with them, I know if I get the ball to them, they're gonna make plays. So, I mean, just like these little out routes we were throwing to Sylvier, he made just the most out of them. And I mean, it's just a 5-yard throw that gets 10, 12 yards every time, just because they're our playmakers.
From Florida, from the Tampa area.
Yes, sir.
Why Carthage? Why make this I mean, you're giving up all that gorgeous weather for 10 months out of the year, and you're coming
Yes,
up
sir.
here. What convinced you that this was the place?
It honestly just felt like when I visited Carthage, it felt like a family just right off the bat, and I wasn't even at the school yet. And that's big for me, is being like a part of a family. So just understanding just knowing that I was going to be surrounded by a family really helped my decision. And then knowing going in that to this offense that I will be able to make checks and audibles at the line of scrimmage, which I like love doing just because I love watching film and reading defenses. So I love knowing like what checks to make, and just Coach P and Coach Haas giving the quarterbacks ability to do that in the game. That was awesome to see.
Steinbrenner High School.
Yes, sir.
Talk about the speed of the game. Is there that big difference between high school and Division III football?
Yes, sir. I can definitely tell a difference between the speed of the game, but just going through all fall camp and going against our defense, I mean, as you saw today, like they're really good. So going against a really good defense really helps like prepare with that speed. So when you go out there, like you already know like what's going to be happening because going against a really good defense helps.
Recruiting different with COVID, so that had to be different. Virtually trying to look at the campus and feeling like you were part of a family, wasn't it?
Yes, and that later on in the year, I was able to come up for a visit, so it was nice to see the campus and meet the coaches in person and everything.
Well, this young man epitomizes Carthage football here. He's got very intelligent, very well spoken, so good for you, Coach Dustin.
We did well. You got to give the credit to Coach P. He went down and found him and recruited him. Obviously we've got a set standard of what we look for. We want, good football players. We want good students and most of all good people. And I think a lot of our guys, not just Bryce, embody that.
That's a heck of a debut for, again, freshman. You're 18, 19 years old, and you're out there, against one of the bitter arch rivals of Carthage football, Illinois Wesleyan, and you're picking them apart.
Yes, sir. I mean, just the O-line giving me time to help. I mean, like I said, like the O-line giving me time to make the 5-yard throw and then getting the ball out to the playmakers and then making the 12-yard throw, like you're talking about that catch that Veer had for the touchdown. I mean, the O-line gave me time. I was able to make my read, and that's like a 20-yard throw, maybe not even 20-yard throw, and Veer does what he has to do to make it 60. So, I mean, just having everyone around you, like, really helps us.
Yeah, give credit to the big guys.
Yes, sir.
And make sure you give them credit, but that's the other key, too. I think the last 2 weeks now, the line has come together, has played better as a unit.
They really have. You watched it last game, especially in the second half. They kind of took control, and we got a couple seniors out there that said, hey, that's going to be the standard, and we're going to do that right from the start, and I think you saw that today. They were getting great push on our run plays. A lot of guys on the ground. They'd cut a bunch of guys. They were very, very physical, and then, like Bryce said, they were awesome in pass pro. Until the end of the game there, I don't know if anybody got touched. So it was great to see them really come together and have a great game.
I'm impressed with Bryce in one respect. He climbs the pocket, but it's not a panic climb. It's like, okay, let me step up a little bit. Is he open? 1, 2, 3, 4. Going through his reads and not in a panic, twitching and going up there like, okay, where am I going to throw this?
He does a great job with that for sure. I actually yelled at him to run one, and he threw it away. I'm glad he threw it away out of bounds, but I was telling him to run. But yeah, he does a great job, has very good pocket presence.
Well, and get to enjoy this for 24 hours. But then you got to focus now starting Sunday night on Milliken. That's, I think, the toughest road game you can play here with the Wisconsin schools going down to Decatur.
It's not easy. Yep, it's going to be our third game on the road and 4 tries. And we got to, like you said, put this one to bed and get ready for a good football team in Milliken.
And see what they do tonight. That's the beauty. You get to go home and watch a little bit of Milliken and Carroll tonight on the internet.
Always like to be able to do that.
A little scouting in, but. The guys deserve a good day off now for tomorrow and get back at it on Monday. But this is a big win here, I think, for this program. This might be the step this program has been looking for here for the last couple of years.
It was a huge win. Like I told the guys, it's been about 6 years, I think, and I think we've only beaten them 1 time in the last 10 tries. So it was a really big win for our football team, a really big win for our future.
Certainly puts the program in good stead, and a 2-0 start with a chance to go 3-0 next week. And you still got games with the front runners in Wheaton and North Central, but the confidence is starting to build.
You could see the team gel, and our mantra is 1-0 each week and get 1% better every day. And I think the guys are starting to really feel that and feed off it a little bit. And I'm excited to see where we go.
Absolutely, I'm excited too. Just as Tessa is here, she's all set to go with cheerleading. Why isn't she on the team?
I brought her up here. I wanted to bring her down to see if she wanted to talk about that kid zone out there today with the inflatables and face painter and stuff like that. It was really a great environment. Had a bunch of fans come out. It was awesome to see, and wanted to see if she enjoyed all that stuff. I had a good time.
Certainly. Did you have a good time? I see you got face painted, Tessa. I just want to know where Caleb is. He's supposed to be my color guy.
Last I saw, he was down there running routes with Carlos Brown on the field. So,
well, Coach, congratulations. Nice win here today. Bryce, thank you for coming up. You are our Harbor Park Health and Fitness Player of the Game today. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
You bet. And say hello to everybody back in Florida. Mom and Dad watching today?
Oh, no, they're actually here.
They're actually here. Congratulations.
Yes,
Good. I'm glad they were here to see this today. That's made it even better.
Yes, sir.
All right. Enjoy your dinner tonight.
Thank you. Bryce
Lowe, quarterback for Carthage College, his first collegiate start today. Thank you for coming up. Dustin, nice win.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We'll see you next week as Carthage will take on the Big Blue. Thanks to Dustin Haas for coming up, and Bryce Lowe, our Harbor Park Health and Fitness Player of the Game today, and the freshman quarterback for the Firebirds today, as he threw for over 300 yards today, 301 yards, 16 of 24, and 4 touchdown passes. Harbor Park Health and Fitness on 14th Avenue, just a mile south of the Carthage campus. Happy, healthy community. We thank them for sponsoring that award. We ran through the Carthage stats real quickly now. Illinois Wesleyan today, Sage Schindler, 18 of 32, 317 yards and 4 touchdowns. He was sacked once today, and that was by Cox for Carthage. Charlie Hamilton, 8 receptions, 178 yards and 3 touchdowns today for Hamilton, the star, the lone bright spot, if you will, for Illinois Wesleyan today. Hamid Bully, coming into this contest averaging better than 7 yards per carry, was limited to 17 carries and 42 yards. His longest run today was 10 yards. He had a 2.5 average today. Carthage defense got after it up front, as we talked with Dustin about. Ryan Sachs, the quarterback, came in that third quarter, did some running there. He had 6 carries for 24 yards along of 13. In the receiving department, it was Hamilton, 8 receptions for 178 yards. Wesley Watson, 2 receptions for 35. Peyton Gerberding, 2 for 16. And Hamid Bully with 3 receptions for 5 yards. Third down conversions today, Carthage 4 of 10. Illinois Wesleyan 3 of 10. Carthage perfect, 2 for 2 on fourth down conversions today as well. Time of possession fairly even, 30-40 for Illinois Wesleyan, 29-20 for Carthage. Penalties today, Carthage 5 penalties for 45 yards, Illinois Wesleyan 5 for 34. Punting, Carthage 4 punts today, 3 of them by David Collins, 1 by Max Rasman, averaging 41 per kick. They had a long of 48 today. And for Jonathan Rucujo, 7 punts today, a 35-yard average, a long of 46, and 1 inside the 20. So everybody got into the act here today. Carthage putting up 62 points on Illinois Wesleyan, their most points in nearly 4 years, as they knock off Wesleyan today, 62-35. Real quickly, John, if you can post those scores once again that you had from the league today. It's now final. Wheaton defeated North Park 58-27. They're in the third quarter in Naperville. North Central leading Augustana 48-6. Late in the third quarter, Washington University has jumped Elmhurst. It was 7-3 halftime, and the Bears now lead Elmhurst 24-7 late in the third. Later tonight, a 6 o'clock kick, Carroll at Milliken. And Milliken is where we will be next Saturday. A big road trip for this Carthage Firebird program as they take their 2-1 record, 2-0 in the conference, down to Decatur to take on the Milliken Big Blue. We will be with you on the pregame at 12:45 and a 1 o'clock kick from Lindsay Field. That'll be Milliken's homecoming game next Saturday afternoon, and you'll be able to catch it live here on AM 1050 WLIP and on the audio stream at WLIP.com. Big thank you this afternoon to Scott DeLabio back on the board at the WLIP studios, running things on all the switches and making sure we get everything together. John Voinovich and his student staff here for the video stream here of Carthage. And we thank our students and, of course, John Voinovich for all his intense work here in putting together a video product on the video stream. Stay tuned. Terry Havel and Rock and Roll Remembers coming up. 5 full hours of rock and roll music from the greatest days of rock and roll with Terry Havel. That'll be coming your way next here on 1050 WLIP. John Weiser wishing you a very pleasant good afternoon from Art Keller Field in Kenosha. Carthage a 62-35 victory over Illinois Wesleyan. Until next Saturday, thanks for tuning in to Carthage Athletics on Kenosha's home for Carthage football, AM 1050 WLIP Kenosha. Good afternoon, everyone.